Welcome to the Gone Too Far from Behind the Bar podcast with your host, Kyler.
And Chase.
And today is a little different. We got a little collaboration with two fine gentlemen from Two Fingers Neat.
Yep,
Right on.
that's us.
Want to introduce yourselves, gentlemen?
I'm Tyler.
Tyler, very close.
Very close.
Right.
Which was the weirdest thing when you're like, "Hey, my name's Kyler," and I was like, "What?"
Thought
is
it was
going
like an
on?
autocorrect issue or something?
Yeah, but yeah, I was like, "Is this a Maria Bamford joke? Like, what is going on?" But yeah, Tyler Jolly, born and raised in Nevada.
Okay, yeah, you're like a neighboring city,
Yeah,
right? I mean, we
Yeah.
did, we kind of scoped you out on Facebook a little bit.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be raised in Pahrump, Nevada.
Was it cool?
No, it was terrible. It was horrible. It was the worst.
Right on. And then George?
I'm George.
Hey, George. You know what? I watched one of your videos, and you did the entire intro for Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
I was so
you
stoned.
committed 100% to that.
I was so stoned.
Everyone else was done with it.
Dude,
We were
it
like,
was
"Stop,"
great.
And he just kept going.
My favorite
That
was
was
just the direct eye contact into the camera the whole time, not giving a shit about the people on your side. Just right there is like, this is going to be for Facebook, guys.
Oh, I
I'm
loved
not
it.
worried about you tonight.
I have
was
I
great.
have 4 cardigans, and I was gonna bring them for everyone and be like, guys, let's celebrate Mr. Rogers. And then as soon as I started the song, I was like, I regret this 100%.
But you
I
committed.
can't stop. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just gotta head first into the shallow end.
Everyone was done.
It was funny. We do a featured cocktail for each one of our podcasts, and today we did a little collaboration cocktail. I noticed that you have really nice cocktails on your show, and so I tried to bring it and not have a scrub cocktail. So what we did was I slaved all night over this. No, I didn't really
He
do
lost
that.
sleep.
Yeah, I was
you
like,
know.
I was really working. I went to Winco at 1 in the morning. So what we did here is a little bit of cold brew coffee, some pecan bourbon, as well as Belching Beaver peanut butter stout,
Oh,
and then I topped it with fresh made whipped cream with a little handmade vanilla simple syrup, and then over the top grated a little bit of chili chocolate.
Holy shit.
So we're calling it the Gone 2 Fingers Too Far. Gentlemen, cheers.
Well,
Thanks
thanks
again
for
for coming.
coming.
It's so perfect. It doesn't look real. Like even when
Right.
you move it, I was
It looks like a prop,
yeah,
like a styrofoam prop.
This sits in the corner of Sonoma Williams.
Right.
Yeah, look, the
Collect
Williams
those.
Sonoma.
the whipped cream, it doesn't even
Hand
it doesn't
whipped.
move. It
So
doesn't
it's just
move.
heavy whipping
It's
cream and then the
locked
vanilla
in
simple
there.
syrup.
Dude, it's good, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I was drinking. That's what they gave me earlier.
I had that moment where the whipped cream's like, "I'm not moving."
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then it got out of the way, and the drink's like,
Cold.
get ready, here it comes." That was delicious.
So this is a twist on when I first started bartending downtown at Bar Bistro at the Arts Factory.
Okay.
We had one that was very similar that we used Maker's 46 and Guinness and then the hand whipped cream. And then over the years, I've just messed around with it. And then I did one with Samuel Smith's Organic Chocolate Stout, but they were out of it at the Lee's by my house. So I thought the Belching Beaver peanut butter would work out really well.
See, that's a rare beer too.
Which one?
Samuel
Smith's?
Samuel
Yeah.
Smith's.
Oh, it's delicious. Have you ever
Yeah,
had it?
no, yeah, all their stuff is amazing.
Les
But
Titis.
that's that beer that you go in and you buy one of
Yeah.
because that's how they sell it. You don't. There's not
Yeah.
a 6-pack or nothing. You're just like, all right, I'm just gonna grab a handful of these
Right.
and walk out with them. But yeah, always they're so damn good.
Right on. All right, gentlemen. So you guys are comics. So this is a little different from us, where I'm going to assume you have some sort of bar background, though. Where you just make them
yeah.
at home.
Yeah,
Say
I,
a little
uh,
more than that, I'm sure.
I worked on the Strip for almost 5 years as a bar back, and then I've worked other little small spots throughout town, and now I work at a spot called Taco y Taco.
I like Taco y Taco.
Me as well.
Yeah, bartending over there. So, and that's
The one on Eastern?
yeah,
I like that spot.
yeah, I love it over there. It's so much better than being on the Strip.
It's delicious.
Yeah, yeah.
And the bar is really small. Like, it's like, what, maybe 5-6 seats?
6 chairs,
Nice.
just enough.
Yeah,
Ju-
perfect.
you know, when we get full, and then you have like everyone, ordering drinks through the register also.
Yeah.
Because they can get their food and go to the register and order drinks. You get pretty slammed. But if there were more seats, I would be like, nah, we need another bartender.
Right.
We need someone just to do that side. But
Yeah, because you cover the restaurant as well, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that can
Yeah.
definitely get real busy. So it's nice just to have those in there. That's fun. So a little icebreaker that we like to do, guys, right at the very beginning. And I actually saw you guys had just put up a video of it, so I almost feel like I already know. But I'm going to act surprised. we we do. What was the first time that you drank? The first time that you got drunk? What were you drinking? What were you doing? And did it go just a little too far?
Man, the
Yes.
first time.
Yes.
Yes.
The first time
Whoever
I
wants to kick
Are
it
you
off.
like
Poof Dirt? Is that your first time, Poof Dirt?
that's not my first time
Oh, okay.
drinking.
Okay, that's the
Well, like, yeah,
that
the
was
first time
the
you
one
got
that I had
drunk.
seen.
That was the first time it got out of hand. Yeah, that was the first. That was my. It gave me my first hangover. Was that story of falling into a mesquite bush over and over again. Just showed up at home bloody the next day. It was terrible. I'd say my first. I don't know. We used to just like sneak beer from my uncle when we were real young, and my cousin was like, "Hey, my dad wanted us to get beers for him, and he usually lets me take a couple sips. You want a sip?" And I remember being a kid and being like, "Sure," and then instantly being like, "This is the worst goddamn thing
Right.
I've ever tasted. How do you like that?" And he's like, "Oh, it's so good." His
And
dad, full blown alcoholic.
That's
Like,
got to be the idea behind it, right? Because we've gotten sips and stuff too. And you're like, oh, this is gross. And I was like, perfect, it worked. You don't want to drink this at all.
Oh, yeah.
no.
Yeah.
But it was like, I don't know, just little stuff. I remember I was probably 4.
What about the first time you got drunk? Drunk, where it was like high school party. I got drunk off
Maybe.
Malibu and fingered this nasty next door neighbor
Two
on the
fingers.
roof. Yep. Maybe
fingers, yeah.
3. I don't know. She was like, she's kind of a little bit.
Damn.
Yeah.
on the roof?
On the roof, yeah. Well, so did you ever have that friend who has a house where it's just anything goes? Like his parents, I don't know where his parents were. I never seen his parents, so we just did whatever. We were like, we made a fire in the backyard in like a little pit that we had just kind of hastily put together. We started drinking Malibu, got a little tipsy. We went up on the roof to like watch the fire from the roof, and then I cuddled up next to this less than desirable.
You mean a dime
Lady.
piece?
Yeah,
You still talk
It's
to
your
her?
story. You
I
can make
don't-
it what
I
you
don't-
want.
I don't even remember her name, man.
Solid.
Yep. And then I
Good.
worked, so you're just like, just cuddling in, gets closer, and then worked my hand over the fupa, down in, and hit the little brushly bristles, which I was like 13 years old, so it was
Yeah.
like, what
Oh,
the fuck is
Jesus.
that? And because she had maybe she had shaved, or she might have had the pattern design or something going on, but at that point, I wasn't able to feel it.
She had,
Probably
it
not.
was
That's 8th grade, right?
No, I
Or
think, yeah,
Barely
I think it was
freshman.
8th grade. Yeah,
yeah.
You're 13?
yeah, we started early. We drank.
Where are you from?
I grew up out here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We're
Sin
40,
City.
48th in education. So
Yeah.
I heard it was
Oh, I
54.
know. I know.
That's right,
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I'm a product of that, man. I got a bar in my living room.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you caught that.
Exactly.
55th. Is that what you said?
54th.
55th,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you count Guam.
How old are you?
Yeah. Puerto
I'm
Rico.
31 years
31.
old.
Oh, yeah. Baby face. You too?
I'm 27. I will be
Jesus
this year.
Christ.
Yeah.
Yep.
Babies.
Yeah.
Goddamn
My first time was
kids.
off Pop Off as well, or at least the story that I had heard from yours.
Yeah.
And yeah. Somebody stole it from an Albertsons, and instead of like trying to wait it out, be like, everything's going okay, we were like, well, let's get rid of it. So we drank it.
Hide the evidence.
It was New Year's Eve, and I was done by 10 o'clock.
Yeah, high school I didn't do a lot of drinking. Like
Yeah.
I drank around my brothers, but it was more like smoking pot.
Yeah. See, I never got into the pot in high school.
Yeah, I smoked a lot of pot in high
Guilty.
school, but never really drank that much. And then after high school, I really started to get into it. Yeah, I don't know how old. I remember like playing card games with my brother. I'm the youngest of 5, so I've got a brother that's got 9 years on me.
Okay.
So he was old enough to drink, and or damn near. And we had a bottle of Goldschlager,
Oh, Jesus.
and that was the wager. And I was young. I'm trying to think what house we were in to see how young I was. I was probably like 12 or 13, maybe 13.
Yep.
And he handed me he was like, "Oh, you lost here." And I looked at it and smelled it and looked back at him, and he was like, "You don't have to do it if you don't want to do it." I was like, "Awesome." But so he started taking my shots. Like we had like Boone's Farm, and then something that was like some kind of Cobra drink that came in a
Oh,
big
yeah.
bottle.
Is that King Cobra?
Something I don't know.
Is
Everything
that
was
a malt beverage?
everything was all fruit flavored. Everything was. I think something had like a leopard on it. Like it was all classy
Bismuth.
cocktails.
Class. The
And-
best.
I feel bad now because looking back, I remember we were hanging out in the front yard, and my brother just like leaned down, and he just put his head down a little bit and just went, "Huh," and just a little came out, and then you just hear him go, "It got on my sock."
Oh no.
And we were all stoned enough to where that was the funniest thing you'd heard the whole night. And so it was like, for like years after, we'd just be like, "Brandon, it got on my sock." And we'd all just laugh and die. But it was, yeah, not much. What about you,
Yeah,
old
George?
timer?
How about
my
yourself?
goodness.
Where are you from, by the way? You're not from Vegas, right?
No. I'm raised in El Paso, Texas, but I was born
Okay.
in Korea on the military base.
Okay.
Oh, cool. My wife was born in Guam.
Oh,
on a
wow.
military base, yeah. And then
Yeah.
lived in Korea for a few years as well.
Oh, shit.
Her dad was Air Force, so that's when she ended up moving
So
over.
did you guys have to bootleg your alcohol, George? Or
In Korea?
just, well, you're old.
no.
They made it there. You had to hope that it was decent.
I was bathed in it. and
You're-
then
Oh,
They were
you
just
gotta
trying to
watch out, man.
Baptized.
That's one of those things where it's like you use what you can get. So sometimes they do like the soju, and like soju, they'll just be putting random shit in there. They'll be like, "I think this will work."
Dude, one
Kind
of
of
the
almost like bathtub gin.
one of the greatest times I had in Korea, we just got there. Okay, so I was born in Korea on the military base. I was there for a month. Moved to El Paso. That's where my dad retired, so that's where I was raised.
Okay.
Grew up in the Korean church, and then a Mexican girl I was dating at the time just graduated university, and she's like, "I'm gonna go teach English in Korea," and I was like, "All right, I guess I'll go teach English in Korea too." And so I followed her out there, no degree, but I'm half Korean, so they gave me a dope ass visa where I could just work anywhere I wanted. Like if I wanted to work at a Starbucks in Korea, I could, because I had a visa. Like they could never do that. So we're drunk, we're on the subway, we're just being loud and belligerent, and it's huge cultural faux pas to be loud on the subway. You got to be silent, and we're just being loud Americans. And this old 70-year-old guy, he goes, "Hey, be silent." And then we look at him, we just start laughing. And then his wife, she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." She gets a soju juice box, puts the straw in, and puts it up to his mouth. And he just starts sipping it like a little kid. He's just like, "All right, I guess I'll cool out." And then
Calm
we all
him
felt
down.
bad, and then we just shut the fuck up. But it was so funny. Yeah, so when you
silent.
yeah, when
I
you
like
talk
that.
about soju,
That's
I
funny.
fucking hate that shit. You
That's
want to
so
talk about
funny.
hangovers?
Yeah, dude.
Soju is it's just chemicals.
right.
It's disgusting.
What is it? I don't even know what soju is.
It's like
rice.
yeah, it's like a distillate. So it's
Yeah.
stronger than say sake.
Yeah.
So it'll get up there. It's usually like 20. I want
20,
to say like
yeah.
around 20. So it's
20.
like a really high wine or like a
Like
a
20%?
liqueur. Yeah. And it is. It's just like byproducty stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like
So, like,
the
when-
tails.
Yeah, when Justin was talking about the heads, the tails, and stuff like
Yeah.
that, it tastes like the tails of vodka. It just tastes like shit.
And then they put a
So-
shitload of sugar in there to help mask it.
Yeah, it's just
That's a
nasty.
dick move.
Yeah, but it's
Hey, man, what
Korea's
you got?
national beverage, and so they just get fucked up on it. Like,
They need to have a meeting.
It's cheap. It's
Korea,
really
Korea needs to have a meeting. All
Working
50
for
million
you.
of them.
Can we
Right.
get a better beverage? This is bullshit.
Yeah, like their drinking
Take a
culture
group.
is worse.
Everyone's loud on the subway. This is garbage.
this is leading the people out on the subway.
all
We
these
need-
black Americans screaming on this. No, but like Irish are known for their drinking, but I
Yeah,
guess
they
there are like all these surveys and stuff, and Korea beats them every time because in the work culture in Korea, the boss has to take everyone out for drinks after work, and you have to go. You can't just be like, "Oh no, we got that meeting tomorrow
every day?
morning." Almost like 2-3 times a week, and you have to go shot for shot with your manager.
Yeah, if they bring it to you, it's
Yeah.
really disrespectful to decline it. So
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're getting hammered and they're still going,
Yeah, you got to keep going. So my ex-girlfriend, the Korean
Their
one.
national beverage should be Pedialyte.
yeah. Yeah.
water.
No, she would dump it.
their
Like
new
she would,
coffee.
she would dump it on the floor, and then they'd all pretend to drink it, and then okay, like, and the there's just soju all over the
God, I
floor.
bet that was sticky.
Yeah,
Ugh.
and
So
gross.
sticky.
Yeah. But it's better on your shoes than.
You want ants? That's
Right,
how you get
that's
ants.
how
That's how you get it. Yeah.
I've heard a couple decent stories from my father-in-law. While he was in Korea doing that, there was this one bar that had it was a snake inside this big old bowl, and then the soju would go over the snake. It was like a
Like they would drown the snake.
yeah, I think they drowned it originally, and then it just stayed in there. But instead of getting a new thing or whatever, they would just fill it back up every single time.
With a dead snake? Jesus.
A dead snake fermented inside of it. And then once it got low enough, they would just fill it right back up. And then that's what they would scoop out of, almost like a punch bowl type deal, right out of that. But that was like, that's bar's thing, is that?
Ugh.
And then he was telling me any kind of, they had the party foul. There was no concrete on the floors. It was all kind of dirt.
Yeah.
And so if you spilt your beer or whatever, you either had to buy a round for everybody or you drank your beer off the floor.
Oh my god.
And he said the only good thing about it is that it's the beer or whatever got spilt would kind of build little walls around it. So it kind of made it
Pool?
a puddle. Yeah.
Oh my.
A pool to be able to
Just get a little bendy
suck it
straw.
out. Yep. instead of having to buy a whole round for everybody who was out drinking in the military during that time.
So-
Oh my
But he had a bunch of fun stories about Korea.
Remember when Double Down? Oh, I mean, they do like ass juice.
Yeah. Where they'll just take like a little bit left of a bottle and pour it into something behind
It's
the bar.
it's whatever's on
Yeah,
the
it's
bar.
Oh, the
mat.
bar
right here.
mat?
Yeah, the
Ugh.
bar mat.
And they
Yeah.
pour that
Dump it in.
into a shot glass and drink it.
Yeah, I've
Jeez.
definitely had people who were hammered and they're like, "I'll take the bar mat."
What's
shot."
on special?
So that was gross.
Yeah,
But what he said
extra gross.
He said makes me want a
was
bar mat
so,
shot.
Yeah, bar mat. I'm like, oh, that
That'd be an
sounds so
upgrade.
much better than rotting snake juice.
That was funny. You know how you said that guy told you to be silent?
Mhm.
It's not the same thing, but I was in a movie theater and there's somebody brought a kid and the kid wouldn't shut the fuck up. Like it was a little baby. It was just screaming. And then somebody just, like people were like, "Yeah, shut the fucking baby up." And then this guy was so loud. And I remember he just goes, "Inconsiderate." And I was just like, that's the scathing insult you
Yeah.
chose to try and get these people to shut their baby up. Not shut the fuck up. No,
Did it do it?
Inconsiderate. I mean, eventually the people turned on him because the baby was loud.
Yeah.
And then like the entire theater was like, yeah,
That is
"Get you."
inconsiderate.
Yeah, he's right. But yeah, that's what it reminded me of. Like, be silent, inconsiderate. I just assumed it was the same guy who was just like, got off the subway, took a flight here. And
took
then
a
jumped.
Little Kring man with his soju juice box.
Yeah, I don't know well, it was like a very, very small. It was the one that's like down the street from here. So it's like a very small theater. So there would have been max
Cinedome
like
12?
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
I used to go to Cinedome 12 all the time when I was a kid.
Hey man, $4 movie
Mhm.
Tuesdays now.
I saw Lion King when it
Did you?
came out at Cinedome 12.
So wait, how old are you?
35.
Okay, you're still a little bit older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad grew up here. My grandma actually doesn't live too far from here.
Okay.
So on the weekends, I'd come in and see my grandma and stuff, and we'd rollerblade all throughout Henderson and
The big city.
the big city, thinking it was. I could go back to Pahrump, and that's what everyone did. You go back to Pahrump and lie about what happened in Vegas.
Oh, like it was some sort of exciting
I got a
time.
cousin in Vegas. You don't even know, dude. Shit's crazy out there. And you're like, no, it's not.
Right. To Cinedome 12. Snuck in through the back.
You gotta be careful,
Somebody opened
man.
up the exit doors for me.
Babies crying.
It's dangerous over there. People yelling obscenities at you.
I drove past that theater not too long ago, and I was like, ugh. Like,
Hey, I still go there every once in a while.
my grandma let us
Dirt
just
cheap.
hang out there all the time.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Get your hepatitis shot.
was there quite a bit growing up. So we didn't
Don't
quite get
touch
to
the
it.
walls.
What was the first time that you got drunk? What were
Oh
you
yeah,
drinking,
yeah.
and what were you
It's
doing?
so funny because I was actually just gonna like let the conversation lull and then be like, all right, so my first time, because that's what I love doing on our show is just making it hella awkward. But I can't remember the exact first time, but I remember one of the first times that I found the beautiful, seductive nature of alcohol. We were on a camping trip with a bunch of buddies down near San Antonio, Texas, and I got fucking wasted. But I didn't know what drunk was at the time. So I was like, guys, I'm not drunk. Watch. And I started running figure eights around two cars, like just in and out. And they're like, dude, you're hella drunk. You have to prove it. I was like, no, I'm fine. And then we also, because we love,
Sober people don't have to prove it.
I
I'm
love,
not drunk. Watch me smash through this window.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love chugging, like the contest of it, because I thought I was hella good at it, but it turns out I'm not.
You
And
try it every week on our show.
Me either. Dude.
And so I
Oh,
thought,
you want to try it? We got. we got
no,
stuff.
No. I'm terrible. I thought I was good,
Puke
20
all
years
over this
ago.
bar, dude. I suck at that shit.
But we ran out of beer, and so we had like chocolate drink, and I was like, guys, let's chug this chocolate drink. It was just like Yoo-hoo.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't chocolate milk. It was chocolate drink. So we're all chugging it, and then we were like making
no
bets. I was
dairy
like, dude, I bet you can't chug that whole half gallon without breaking your lips, like without moving it away. And then so this guy was getting close. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna owe him $10. So I got in his face and I started barking at him like, you can't do it, like a drill sergeant. And finally he, like, with just a little bit left, he had to move it away, and then just barfed chocolate drink everywhere. And I was like, oh man, my bad. So
It probably would have happened anyway, George. It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah. But I didn't have to pay him $10, so that's cool.
Right? Win-win.
He's still one of my best friends. So it's like,
Man, the only thing that threw me off about Yoo-Hoo is it always seemed like there was little floaties in there before you shook it up. Have you ever noticed that? Next time you're at a gas station, pick up, if they have it available still, little glass bottle Yoo-Hoo and just kind of look around there. It's always like these little things kind of floating in there. Looking like this big.
Don't ruin Yoo-Hoo, man.
That might be the shake well, you know? It might
Yeah.
just be like the
I
setting
feel
that's on
like
the bottom of-
everyone's thrown up Yoo-Hoo though.
that's why they call it Yoo-Hoo.
Yoo-Hoo or Nesquik. Like you've thrown up one of those.
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably from eating too much of just the powder. I used to eat just the powder
strawberry-
by itself.
Strawberry Nesquik.
Yeah.
I've thrown that up.
Mm.
Outside of a Carl's Jr.
I threw up some Go-Gurts. So Go-Gurts used to have these little, they were like pellets. They were like little yogurt,
Oh, they were
Go-Gurt
called
pellets.
Yogos.
Oh.
Yogos. And I ate a bunch that had been sitting in our car for like a week. We went,
my
I was,
God.
we went
Just to
Boys
make
are
this-
dumb.
Just to make the setting here, we did a road trip. Our family's from Montana, so we grew up here in Vegas, but our family's from Montana, and so we all hopped in a Kia Sedona and drove to Montana.
Whoa,
together.
humble brag, calm down.
Yeah, I know. Watch out. You know, my parents hooked up a
Limo
little
tent and everything.
electronic.
We had
piece
that
to the
giant
battery so that
TV.
you can put a 10-inch TV with a VHS player, and then
Oh
they,
my God.
they ratcheted it to the front two seats so that we can watch our VHSs on the
That's
way
so
there.
funny.
We even played GameCube.
Whoa.
We did, dude. That was
Watch
dope.
out.
Ballers. Wait, are you two like childhood best friends?
We're brothers.
What the
Oh, sorry. yeah, I suppose
You
we could've
sons of
said-
bitches. What the?
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, we
No?
look nothing alike.
I don't
Well,
know.
now that you
Sometimes I get
mention
that we
it,
do, sometimes I
same
get that we don't.
nose, same mouth. It's just I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
the shape of your head is different.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
plus
a-
he's got that super like just straight out of the mountains beard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kinda,
he-
you guys
everybody
missed
thinks
it.
he
I had
looks
a real good one going a little bit ago.
Well, he's more
But-
bottom heavy, like, because you got the jowls, like you got the baby fat. You still got
He
that.
Yeah, that's the wintertime fat.
yeah, he's got his
Yeah.
winter
You,
coat on.
you
This is
fat
the
and
winter
ugly
coat.
motherfucker. No,
Yeah.
just kidding. I'm out here
me.
roasting it. Damn, I'm sorry.
Give me just a
Dude,
couple
you know
months,
what's
bro.
funny?
I'll be right back in it.
You do open mic hosting, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I ran into you once at a dive bar.
Oh shit.
I was doing so. I did open mic at Sand Dollar. I did open mic, and then I was hanging out with Marcus Dietz.
Mm-hmm.
So he was the only person that I felt like was like, yeah, this is your first time? Cool. Hey, you want to go to a dive bar and try the next one? I was like, yeah, let's do this. And I go, and I think you were there, and you were the host, and you're sitting at the
Oh
bar.
no, you're probably thinking about Randall
Thompson.
Thompson.
Different guy.
Yeah,
Thompson.
different black guy.
It's his
I was
brother.
gonna say you're much
Boy.
nicer than
yeah.
because this guy wasn't having shit.
Yeah,
he
when I
was sitting-
first came into town, they're like, "Oh my God, it's crab meat! It's crab meat! He looks exactly like crab meat." And then we finally met, and I was like, "Okay, I get it."
Like
Yeah.
crab.
I
meat?
never.
That's his nickname.
Yeah.
Oh.
well, I was
yeah.
also like a couple of
Oh,
drinks
okay.
in from Sand Dollar, like getting my nerve up. So then I
Yeah,
went-
yeah.
But yeah, so I go, all right, well, then this is a story that doesn't necessarily paint. But there's a guy that I think he's like a nurse or something like that. There's like he does something like that, but he performs in Scrubs. And I guess he's kind of like a.
Or did that night.
Yeah, he was in Scrubs that night. But he was
It
like.
definitely wasn't me. Yeah.
Yeah. He seems like
Rob
he's.
Boscalero.
Has he been around
This
for a
was
minute?
a different gentleman, but I guess he just got off work. He performed in Scrubs, but was still wearing his Scrubs from
I
work.
think that might be Rob
Yeah.
Boscalero.
Is he like? Has he been
I
around
did-
for a minute in the
I
circuit?
deactivated my Facebook. Did he have glasses on? Do you remember?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think he
then
had
it's Rob.
glasses on. So he
Kind of
came
New York accent.
possibly. So this is. I had a couple of drinks. I'm sitting at the bar with Marcus and then Crab Meat, and this guy walks
Fuck
up and he's like, "Oh, what time? What time can I get on?" And I was just like, "Scrubs, is that part of your thing?" And he goes, "What?" And I was like, "You didn't have like a change of clothes or anything?" And he was just like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, is this your thing? Like, I don't, I'm just brand
It's
new.
like it's open mic comedy.
Yeah. So he was just like, I just got off work. I'm like, yeah, but I mean, you could have changed. I'm like, you knew we would come here, right? Like, is that like, what's the deal? And he just was not having it at all. And then Marcus was like, oh, you picking on this fucking dude? Like your first night? I'm like, I didn't mean to come in and start talking shit. I just thought it
Rookie
was
in here
funny.
talking
Yeah, right.
shit.
Yeah, so it was like, I was like, oh no, like, did I already immediately alienate myself from this whole
So
community?
did you try the stand-up comedy?
I did it at Sand Dollar. I was too far down at Dive Bar. I had to work in the morning, so I was
Oh,
like, you
yeah.
know, I don't really want. And nobody was engaged.
That's
Zero
Dive Bar.
engagement.
That's
Yeah,
Dive
so
Bar, yeah.
like, people were just up there and telling jokes to themselves, and I was just like, this is fucking brutal.
Dive bar, you have to engage them,
Uh-huh.
and like,
Like call them out personally.
well, anytime I go there, I just shit on the bar.
Yeah.
I just like, what the fuck are you guys
Well,
doing?
that's a
here?
show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, what are you guys doing here? You know, where's
It's
your
so far.
where's
The
your
bar is
health
so
rating?
far.
Like, because I had
What's
to
your
search
health rating?
for real. Where
The
at
bathroom
Dive
in there is
Bar,
pretty sketchy,
It's
bro.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Like I've told him before on stage, I was like, I think it might be more sanitary if I just piss myself rather than pulling it out in the bathroom. Like I don't want to do that, but I've had to search. The rating's kind of hidden. Surprisingly, it was an A.
Right. Oh yeah, where you
I-
found the
When I
the health
found it,
department.
I asked once. I was like, "Hey, what's the rating on this place? Anyone guess?" And someone goes 37, and I was like, "You obviously don't work in the service industry. You have no idea what's
It's not a football score, bro.
It's like an A to D rating.
Gave a grade.
37 to 34. Shouldn't have taken the over/under.
God damn it.
But yeah, there's
That's
always
the amount of roaches.
there's always one person you can pick on that's being just a piece of shit degenerate in that bar.
Yeah, I was gonna go after the bartender, which I'm kind of glad I didn't. It was
Yeah.
like this chick with big tits.
Tattooed neck.
I think so. Yeah,
Stephanie.
That's.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, hey, anybody? Stephanie over there's got a Groupon for tit jobs. She's already used 2 of them. She's trying to get rid of the 3rd one in case anybody wants. That was gonna be my opener, and I was like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to get shanked
You
on
should have
my
told
way
her.
out.
No, you don't.
Yeah, because bartenders especially, they've heard everything. So if you can come up with something like that, it's a little bit wittier, a little bit out there. Because it's just like, hey, titties are fat. Am I right? It's like, boo. Get out of here.
That's great.
No,
I've
they,
been meaning to go and do it again. So
I went
eventually,
in there
I'll
one
make up
time,
the
and
gigs.
there was a guy trying to get drinks, and she was like, "I know you," and he was like, "No, I've never even been in here before." She was like, "No, you've been kicked out of here before. You're not supposed to be in here," and like was arguing, and she's like, "You can argue with me all you want, or just fuck off. I'm not serving you." And he left. And the same night, this girl got on stage, showed her titties, argued with everybody, tripped and fell over the monitor from the stage, and hit her face on the ground.
Oh Jesus! It's pretty far stage.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a long
like
drop.
4 or 5 feet, right?
They got her up. She still like tried to fight a couple people, just hammered. Might have had a titty out the whole time. Like just went crazy, and
Were
then
they
just
nice?
went and and then it just went and sat back at the bar, and everyone was
Like
just
everything
like,
was cool?
Nothing happened. Like everything was fine. And I got on stage and I was like, all right, so this just happened. What the fuck did that guy do to get kicked out of here? Like,
Oh
what do
yeah,
you-
well, your bar must be really high.
yeah, what do you have to do to get kicked out of here? Like, I think that guy killed somebody. Like, but he didn't get arrested. They were just like, you can't be here anymore.
You gotta
We're not
go."
going to serve you. You murdered a guy.
We won't call the cops.
Yeah, out of here, Aaron Hernandez.
Oh, hot takes.
Boom, got him
He's looking for that titty Groupon.
in heaven.
In heaven?
Not in heaven.
Not a titty Groupon.
Did you see his ex-girl or ex-fiance was on like
I don't
today
think-
or something?
They
and
didn't
she-
break up.
What, he's dead?
I know, but is it still an ex though?
Yes.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, is it my ex-husband?
pretty
My
sure.
late husband. My
Ye-
late
His
fiance.
her
Really
late
late.
fiance?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Late seems right.
Remember Robin Williams in,
But what is she
in
to him?
Goodwill Hunting?
Was
but she
were
is
they
the
married? They
ex.
weren't married.
But
right?
she wouldn't
They
be a
were
widow.
Fiance.
Ex.
Yeah.
Late baby mama.
She got paid.
Is there
like
a
she was
French name for
widow.
that? I
Croissant?
wonder. Right, a croissant. I'm his
Croissant.
croissant.
Oh, I'm a piece of
'Cause
fucking
she's-
bread now.
Because she's flaky.
Mm.
Have you seen the side by side of
Tender
her
inside.
and Bow Wow?
No.
Do they look a lot alike?
Bow Wow put on a wig and got engaged to Aaron Hernandez. Like, It's insane.
Gross.
That whole I can't wait. The next documentary he just did on him too.
Lil Bow Wow?
No, about
Aaron
Hernandez.
What, croissants? What the fuck?
Damn it! I've been waiting for that documentary on Little Bow Wow.
It's this new breakfast sandwich coming from Burger King. This croissants are gonna be delicious.
Sponsored by Jimmy Dean.
It's just with a question mark. Croissants?
You can add a patty for $1.
But yeah, that I don't know.
So you know Marcus Dietz?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he actually graduated from Foothill. Same year as me.
Oh shit.
I didn't know him the entire time I went to school, though.
Is he the
Yeah.
running back?
Nope. Oh, you're talking about, we had this star running back who was like freaking nature. He was in varsity year 1. He didn't graduate with us because he failed his standard exams. So you have 2 years, right? I mean, you did back when I was in high school. You had 2 years to do your standards. He failed both of them and any makeup ones. Like, the guy was phenomenal. He was just built like a brick shit house from 8th grade on. And he ran varsity all years, broke a ton of records. He was just a freak of nature. And then, yeah, he must have had so many offers. And I guess he was playing for some, like, triple A, I think is how college is ranked, right? Double A.
D1.
D-way. He was playing for a sub, like a not
Like a community college, like a
Yeah,
junior college.
something like that.
Yeah.
somewhere. And it was a bummer because the guy had literally all the talent in the world. He could have been an NFL running back. Easy.
He wanted to be the star of
D'Angelo Jones. that was his
University of
name.
Phoenix.
Not even close.
University of Phoenix. Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Shit.
D'Angelo Dietz.
D'Angelo Dietz. Marcus Dietz, dude. He's cool. He was the only one who was like back there hyping me up when I would do a joke. He'd go, ha! Ha! Yeah.
He does have that. He's got that Ray Romano voice.
He's got, we saw him. We did a featured comedy night at the LA Comedy Store at Strat. LA Comedy Club at the Strat.
Yeah.
And he won that night. He did really
Oh,
well.
you were there.
I was there, yeah.
Yeah, I was on that show too.
Were you?
Yeah. And then they were like, everyone come on up. We're going to cheer, like, applause. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
No
yeah.
one's here to see me.
It was a little...
I was taking photos too.
Well, it wasn't like we were there to see him.
You're so
You were
hurt.
sitting-
I was like, no one's here to see me. I don't know. What the fuck?
And I was taking photos.
Yeah. No, that's the only reason I was there. They it was Spiro and Freddie.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
their midnight spotlight show, and then they.
Well, so we went because we know Hannah.
Oh, okay.
So Hannah is
Hannah
like...
DeLue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's an acquaintance, like, I don't exactly know, but she was just like, she came out and hung out with us, my wife, in the pool, and we were like, oh, you do stand-up? That's cool. And she was like, yeah, and then my wife started following her. She's like, oh, Hannah's got a spot, and I happen to have the night off, so we went in and had a good time. It was great. It was a fun time.
Yeah.
And Marcus did a good job. Like, there was one chick, when he did his opening bit, was... what was it? He was like, I went to the barber and I asked the barber for first day lesbian, and there was some chick in the crowd goes, fucking nailed it. and from that moment on, like, his whole 5 minutes was great.
Yeah.
because
I was there that night.
Yeah. And then he won, and then it went to his head, and he's just like the king of the world. And
That
it's just
happened.
like, yeah.
That happened.
But he's gonna be on the next Jimmy McMurrin comedy turn up
Tomorrow night
tomorrow night. Oh shit. Okay.
with
yeah.
Brian Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So that's a midnight show. If you guys feel like staying up late, I'm done with those late nights. So.
tomorrow, I got to work tomorrow. I'm downtown. So I picked up a bunch of late night shifts downtown.
where are you at downtown?
Inspire?
Oh, nice.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I worked there before, and then...
So the We Funny shows with
it
Will
used to be.
Edwards.
Yeah, it used to be like Wednesdays, right?
I think so. I'm not
Wednesdays.
sure.
Wednesdays they did the Laugh-A-War.
Okay.
Yeah, that was.
I did those a bit. So when I was there, it was this would have been like 3 years ago. I was kind of on and off. So what happened is I left my job, and then I was doing the mixology lab, or not mixology lounge, the Tokyo 365. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was in there for about 8 months.
Oh,
So I got to help.
what's the? I knew a guy who worked. I never got to go into it when it was
Tokyo Drift.
But it was Asian.
been my
It was
song
Asian
lately,
dude
dude.
who's a beast.
He was the
Han.
guy that they actually had brought over. So he won the
Which
contest
one did
for
he die in?
Zappos.
He died in 6, right?
I stopped watching
I
probably
like
Yeah,
how
I
you're
stopped
having
at
your
after
own
Tokyo
conversation. You're just totally having your own conversation.
With Ja Rule.
Ja Rule.
Monica.
I know his name. What is his name?
Yeah, he left there, and I think he was at Mandarin Oriental, but he came in because he won the contest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy was he was a beast. So I've always been into mixology, but not to that degree where I'm
Right.
gonna like I'll make a nice cocktail and stuff, but I'll also drink PBR at the fucking bar.
That's one of my buddies. You probably know him. Eric Batres. Big guy.
Maybe.
Big dude.
Sure, I'd recognize
but
him.
he
There's
was
2
a-
degrees of separation in Vegas.
You're right. 1.5.
Yeah.
Shit. 0.75.
We're all kind of in each other. But no, he was at one point. He was the youngest cicerone
Oh yeah.
of all. Like when he first got it, the youngest ever. And we worked together at Taco. And one night we're down at Atomic, and I look over, and he's got a shot of old granddad and a PBR.
OGD.
And I was like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Whatever he wants, man.
And he was like, "What?" I was like, "Do you have the palate and you know all this?" And he goes, "I just don't want to think."
Yeah. Well, that was the same thing for me. Every time I go out, it's Jameson
And
Rocks.
that's where this,
Yeah.
Jack Coke, like that's my go-to. It's
You know exactly what it's going to taste like. You know what it makes you feel like.
and you
it's
can't mess it
easy,
up
and you
unless
can't
you
mess it
don't
up.
put enough Jack in there, which the solution is more.
More
So
Jack,
boom, hey, throw another shot in there. No, now I'm good. Like,
Was that good, by the way?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, mixologist. Look at this humble brag over here. Fish
Yeah,
mix.
it's a weird thing. So my thing was do you ever get too deep into any industry? So comedy, for example, right? You get too into the comedy circuit, and then everybody else is like below you. It's like, you don't know how the punchline goes, or you done fucked up your timing on this, or you didn't address this, you didn't address that. Scrub, new guy, and then
I'm
that's
that person.
Yeah.
That's
Don't agree, dick.
He's like, yeah.
You're an
That's-
ass.
No hesitation. He's like, yep. Mm-hmm.
that's been my
I'm
thing.
glad you finally
People
said it,
hate
actually.
I know.
If I get too deep into any subculture like that, I start to notice that when you're like, oh, the best of the best people seem to, not always, but a lot of the time you get into that like mid-level where people are really into it,
Yeah.
and you're just like, fuck, you guys are dicks. I don't want to be here. And so that happened to me with bartending. So I started attending all these events and doing all this and doing all that, and I'm like, you guys are just kissing a lot of ass, and I'm not about that life.
Oh,
man.
it's just like comedy.
Yeah, 100%. It's everyone just kissing the ass of the next level.
Right.
That's it.
Snowboarding. I went to a rock climbing gym.
Kissing
We're not
ass
kissing
of
snowboards,
people
bro.
who
Just
are
kissing ass.
shit people. Like
Yeah, just genuinely toxic,
Shit
malicious people. But because they're at the headliner status, everyone kisses the rings.
Yeah,
They
dude.
just
I
walk
saw a
up and
flyer
kiss the
today. I
ring.
should have sent it to you. It was a flyer today.
I don't have Facebook.
Headliner feature. Headliner convicted rapist.
Right.
Feature. Like just everyone knows that this guy's like no good drug. Like not just like smoking weed, doing coke. Like what? That's whatever. This guy was doing shit that you're like, what's the name of that? Like, oh, I get it out of my dad's cabinet. Like totally, just going horrible. And I looked at it and I was like, I'm never going over to that show ever again. You know exactly what I'm talking
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
What show?
about. A Slammy show.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I sent it to Jaws and she was like, what are you mad about?
Are you
The bar's called,
surprised?
the bar's called what is it? Chanclas?
Chunkless, yeah.
And she was like,
Aren't those the shoes?
The shoes,
yeah,
right?
right. And she
Yeah,
goes, you're
the
mad
sandals.
because you're not on a show that's named after flip flops? And I go, yeah, that's my lifetime goal.
That's a boiler's weapon, right?
Yeah.
A
Call
boyless?
her up.
Abuela.
I got
Abuelas.
chocolates. I got
Oh,
chocolates.
abuelas. I thought you said a boyless. I
A
was like,
boiler's. That's a boiler's
what the
weapon.
fuck is a boyless weapon? Bro, how do you do it in Montana? What the
A vagina.
Got
I
no
just found out
balls.
your brothers. What the fuck?
Obviously, never
dude.
read our bio.
Yeah. Just two brothers. Well, so you sent us the thing about the podcast, and I was like, okay, this is great.
Literally
But-
says two brothers.
But no
You listen to
social
the
media.
the intro, and it's a chick saying two brothers.
Two brothers neat. That's the name of the show. dude.
It's two brothers neat.
Gone 2 fingers too far.
2 fingers too far. That's fucking great.
Love the collab.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
we could have totally fucking told you that. I guess
So,
we failed to mention
yeah,
that.
we just didn't throw that out there. That's our fault. A lot of the time we forget to tell people that they're being filmed. So you're being
Oh, yeah,
filmed,
yeah,
by
yeah.
the
Oh,
way,
yeah.
just in case you didn't know. It's like, shit.
7-Eleven tells you when you're being filmed.
I
Watch
have
out for it.
I have the height Markers behind
Just
me
wanna, like,
when I
give
walk
you-
out the door.
The height marker.
When you leave, you're gonna have to sign something. so-
Yeah, bathrooms that way. Heads up, you're gonna be filmed. So
Oh shit.
The camera guy comes around the corner. That's just Steve.
From outside the window over there.
So are you both military? Ex-military?
no,
Neither
why?
of us are military. No,
you
I
see
saw
the flag over there?
photos. No, I saw photos of like a uniformed
that's his
individual.
brother-in-law.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's my
okay.
wife's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Also
He's
known
an
as
army.
brother-in-law.
yeah.
Thank you, Webster's.
In case you needed that.
Could have been his
51st
husband's
in
brother. This is
education.
2020.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. 51st in education.
So you do bartending. What do you do?
Me, I'm a server. I've been on the strip since I was 18, and I've been serving back and forth. I've done some bar portering, some bar backing, that kind of stuff.
I was a lifeguard for a minute.
I was a lifeguard for a long time. For a few years up until I got into the hosting position. So that's what I do now. I take on groups. I take up to 6 to 8 cabanas, depending on what side I'm on, and host those guys 8 hours a day.
Okay.
So, yeah. Kind of bring it in. I'm not a casino host. I don't get you whatever the fuck you want. I have kind of a set thing of
Right.
what I can get you.
If you want to beat up a hooker, don't go to him.
don't come to me.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
no, I'm not your
Yeah.
guy.
So you're out of
Thanks,
the pool.
thanks for
You're a
inviting
pool
us.
host.
Yeah, I do pools. Yeah.
How often
So-
do you argue with the bartenders and the wait staff, like the servers and stuff?
Very little. I mean, like
He doesn't argue with anybody, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed this, but he's an extremely agreeable person.
Yeah, I don't like confrontation.
Don't
Who does?
Yeah.
No, not very often at all. Sometimes, the thing that you really only have to get is because these guys are spending a lot of money and they really want to go to. You have to, and not me myself, but a couple hosts before. Is when it's last call, it's last call. So
How about you finish your drinks first?
Okay, so I was going to finish this, and it's fucking phenomenal, but the cream makes me have to clear my throat all the time, so I have to keep turning to the
I was
side.
worried about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
was
a-
thinking
put it
about
over
it
here.
too.
Put it over here.
All right.
No
Yeah.
complaints.
No.
You
It
dick.
it tastes amazing, but like I'm just saying, because even when you made your whipped cream, I just had to just keep turning and going every 3 seconds. But I like my shit neat.
There you go.
Look
Well, I
at-
mean,
is
that's
that-
on a rock. But
Oh yeah. God damn it.
sorry, I didn't want to ruin
There's a
it.
rock in there. God damn it.
Fucking embarrassing.
What is this?
Fucking embarrassing. This is Maker's 46.
Maker's 46.
That's a tasty girl.
That's a-
Yeah. So what they do is
Zeus's
they're
butthole.
it is okay Kentucky straight bourbon barrel finished with 10 French oak 10. I didn't know that they put the number of French oak staves on there.
That's
so,
weird.
Yeah, it's a little strange. So what they do is basically they take Maker's Mark, which is very rye heavy, so it tends to be a little bit spicier, and then they let it sit on oak staves, so that way it gets a little bit more of that kind of like oaky flavor.
Did they also put a TV with a VCR in the car?
They might.
We never
That's
finished that.
Maker's
That's
one either.
Kentucky,
Sedona.
okay?
Tell you what.
That's Maker's Sedona. Is
Let's
what
make
that
it
is.
Maker's
Sedona.
Sedona.
Yeah.
I always make this distinction
You can
when
now
I tell
fold
people
the seats into the bottom. It's pretty impressive.
Right. The new ones are choice, man. So what I always make this distinction is that I'm from Montana, so that is hillbilly. Kentucky is more redneck.
Yeah.
So like there's a big distinction. So like we fuck sheep, and not our cousins.
Don't
Okay.
you include me in that, motherfucker. We.
Look at
you,
this
say,
guy.
you can say I.
Going dribble?
That cream sat there long enough to where it wouldn't let anything out.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You got to splash a
I
cream in
look
the
like a
face.
whore.
Natural habitat.
Well, we knew you were from Pahrump, but
It was
I'm sorry.
You wouldn't believe what they do in Vegas.
They do it for free. The
Well, I-
pricing out there is ridiculous
Pricing? Oh, for whores?
for whores.
Oh. I was like, for houses?
They have to pay
It's
taxes. I
regulated.
think
Yeah,
that's the
they got
difference,
health
huh?
care
Yeah,
and
that's-
everything.
Yeah, they got 401ks.
They're just not allowed to leave.
They're not allowed to leave.
They come out and they stay for about 2 weeks, and they leave once a week to get their hair and their nails and to get their checkup.
But there's not all that in Pahrump. I mean, there's got to be a solid hair and nail person in Pahrump.
Yeah. No,
Just one.
but they're not allowed to leave.
Oh, the ranch.
Yeah,
Ah,
Sherry's,
gotcha.
chicken, whatever. Yeah, yeah. And
The chicken coop.
the weird part is
Right. The bunny
Like-
ranch, the chicken coop,
thing,
the fox den.
is knowing when you see them. Like that was the weird part in growing up because you'd be like,
Oh, you
Who
mean
the
at the
hell-
grocery store and then
yeah, and then you're like, oh, like at first you're like, oh shit, who
Who is this movie
that?
star?
I feel like I've seen you before.
And then
No, I
after a
haven't.
while,
Daddy, who's that? Shut the fuck up.
it's that, and always
She's like,
getting
hey Jeff.
always getting asked for directions. Because there's a gas.
Oh, you mean
station.
people asking directions to get to the
Yeah.
ranches?
There's the first gas station you get to, and now there's two of
Get
them right
Google,
across.
bitch.
And so many times I've come out of that gas station, and there's a guy just been like, "Hey, excuse me,
Young man.
come here." And I'm like, I don't like this. I've seen after school specials, motherfucker.
With your
Where's
Ninja
the
Turtles backpack.
I eat a lot of glass.
you know a place called Sherry's? And I was like, oh yeah. And from that gas station, you go down the road that it's on, and you just stay on it, and you run right into it. Like it just takes you straight to it. But I always let them get as far as possible, and then tell them to take a turn, and that'll put them almost in California.
Perfect.
And that's my favorite move. Like, no, you just go down this, you just keep going, take a right on Kellogg, and you'll run right into
You
it.
can't miss it.
And I'm so many times they just come. I know these guys are coming to a dead end. Going, what the fuck?
That
Just
little
go over there,
bastard.
son of a bitch.
That Ninja Turtle backpack wearing motherfucker.
You're 13 years
it
old.
that
You're like,
often?
trying to get your dick wet, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
What's
Just
up,
call his ass, say
pervert?
it nice and loud.
Finger banging girls on the roof.
How's it going, you lonely son of a bitch?
Yeah, she was older, okay? She knows
Oh,
she
you
was
were
good.
13.
I was 13.
Oh, yeah. She was
That
older.
easily.
This wasn't
14.
last
She was easily
week.
14 and a half. Oh, no, I didn't say it was last week. Jesus Christ, no. We know a pedophile. Like, no, we don't joke about that shit. I was going to say I love this setup. Like, this bar is amazing.
Hey, thanks,
Like,
man.
You guys really did it.
Thanks. I
Did
put a
it
lot
well.
into it.
It's been a long time in the process. I mean, this is 5 years deep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it. Yeah, we
the only
poured the
thing you have to
concrete on.
take off is
Minnesota?
oh, this garbage. Put some
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yeah, you
Eagles
right.
memorabilia up there.
Eagles.
That's a little bit better than Green Bay or.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, different divisions.
You guys
so-
Yeah.
beat us, okay? Be happy about that.
Great.
Won a Super Bowl that year.
Yeah. Whew.
That's pretty much most stories when it comes to Minnesota.
How do you feel about
yeah.
Wentz?
I like it.
Oh,
I like it. I like it.
You're one of a few.
No, I mean they were riddled with injuries, and so
Oh, sure,
there's no way
So
Big Dick
are we.
Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Big Dick Nick.
Big Dick Nick. Yeah, there's no
Never
way he could have
heard
led
that,
that.
but I like it.
Big
Really?
Dick Nick.
No.
Yeah, when he destroyed the
suck. I like
Patriots
this.
that game, that was it. It was Big Dick Nick.
Big Dick Nick. He's got that big dick energy. I like that expression.
Oh, okay. I thought you were both taking them off, and I was like, okay.
Later, we'll just
Tyler?
talk amongst
Yeah,
ourselves.
yeah. Hey,
Hey,
you guys could
everybody,
just
welcome
take
to the
over,
Two
that'd be
Fingers
fun.
Neat
Two
podcast.
Fingers Neat Takeover show. Gee, I don't know. He said something. We had headphones on. Montana go hard.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Well, he was
afraid-
actually born here. I was born in Montana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was born. We lived in this. Have you ever been through? So you ever go up to like Reno? So
Mhm.
you ever go through?
Yeah.
You know where Beatty is?
Yeah.
Okay, so I lived in Beatty. My parents
I'm
moved
sorry.
from. Yeah, I know, right? Fuck. So I moved from Montana, which is gorgeous and beautiful and cool as fuck, to Beatty, which is not.
Beatty is the town that has the house built of Coke bottles.
Maybe. Not when I was there. I mean, I don't remember it being cool. I remember they had an Indian casino and a mine, and that's why my parents moved down
And a
there.
gas station with all the best candy and beef jerky ever.
Maybe.
Oh,
I never got any of that shit.
It's awesome. No, there's
I haven't stopped in there since I was a kid. So I mean, I think I moved here in 2nd grade. So we moved from Beatty to
I think it's
Vegas.
like Eddie's or
Oh, so it wasn't
Freddy's
that
or-
long.
Yeah.
No, and then we moved back to Montana. So like I lived in
Oh.
Montana again, and then I think my parents wanted to live in Montana. Montana's dope, minus the wintertime. Wintertime sucks balls. But outside of that, I mean, it's gorgeous up there.
And all the oil leaks.
I don't know anything about oil leaks in Montana. Not where I'm from. I'm from
I think
Northwest.
that's South Dakota with
Yes,
all the
yes, North Dakota with
North
the big
Dakota.
oil fields.
yeah.
Yeah. I thought
Well-
about doing that, but fuck, dude, minus 30.
Oh, really?
Suck a dick.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How much
this-
do you get? You get like
They get
100?
paid
200?
stupid money. All right, so when they were in the height of the oil rush or the oil boom, you got enough space there?
Nope, you're gonna make me run into the camera.
When they were in the height of that, they were renting out closets. They were paying McDonald's workers $25 an hour because people were just quitting McDonald's to go work in the oil field.
Oh,
They
shit.
couldn't keep anything employed. Like
Yeah.
nobody, and then people were renting out closets to sleep in for $1,000 a month. It
Holy
was
shit!
they had zero infrastructure for that rush. They weren't ready for
Oh,
it.
I
So it was
see.
just this crowd of people. And then I thought about it. I had one wonky ass. It was a fucking freaky neighbor, right? He was short, very stocky, had one wonky ass little eye. Well, I mean, he had two eyes. One was wonky and little.
The other one was normal. And
Dude,
Yeah,
if you
yeah, that
have
was
one
normal.
eye left and it doesn't cooperate with itself. That's amazing.
Yeah. One normal one. And then it was like, who's that dude from Harry Potter with the fucking crazy.
Mad-Eye Moody.
Yeah. So it was like that, right? And so he would, yeah.
That was
Girlfriend's-
so quick. That
My
was so
girlfriend's
quick.
a Potterhead, so you know.
And I brought it
You
up
can be Potterhead too. It's
So was
okay.
Aaron Hernandez, dude.
after prison, not when he had it.
After he got them
That was the
croissants.
CTE.
Oh shit.
The CTE made him
Croissant
like Harry
time,
Potter.
everyone. Let's get these croissants. CTE. Croissant time, everybody. All right, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Sometimes
So
he goes into what he calls rapping.
rapping.
What he calls.
What if you want to call it that?
Yeah, croissants, motherfucker, getting these croissants. Yeah, CTE Hernandez, motherfucker, croissant time, everybody. Let's get the croissants.
Sweet, buttery, flaky.
Get it up in your belly.
there you
Croissant time, motherfucker. It's so easy, like Aaron Hernandez. Easy. Duh, easy.
That is the most you've ever rhymed.
I like the incorporation of food.
Yeah.
I think.
What
Left
the
it
fuck
craving.
were we talking about before I lost my
Oh,
mind?
wonky eye neighbor.
Yeah, Mad Eye
Yeah.
Neighbor.
Right. So yeah, that dude. He was just. We lived in this townhouse that was down the street from here, and every single neighbor was a fucking character. And this dude, I remember he just like one day. I don't even know what he did. And one day he's just like, I'm leaving.
Is this Ray?
No. Ray was cool. Ray was someone normal.
okay.
Anytime
Yeah.
you
No,
impersonate
Ray-
him, you
Ray
put your
next
finger
door
on
was
his
alright.
this.
I'm leaving.
Was he the older gentleman with the ponytail that sold all of the appliances that came with the townhome?
No.
Because
I'm
that was
telling
one
you,
of our
we had
neighbors.
fucking every single room, like every
Ronnie,
fucking
that was
neighbor.
Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Yeah.
So Ronnie, we found out later, we're like 90% sure that his
That dude was
dad ripped
mob
off
affiliated
Medicare
for sure.
Yeah. He had this fucking like he used to drive around in a black Lincoln town car. So that was his car. And then he had like that giant receding hairline with a ponytail. And he would just appear out of fucking nowhere. I'd be getting the mail, and he'd just be like, "Hey," and I'd turn around and be like, "What the fuck did you come from, guy?" And he was just like, yeah. And then he would always talk about the randomest shit. And I was like, yeah, there's fucking kids at the pool, huh? And I'm like, I live right next to, it doesn't bother me. I'm like, I don't know what you're upset about. And he'd be like, fuck. And then he just disappear again. And then one time, it's like he moved into like 5 different townhouses. Like he bounced around. And I was like, this guy is shady. And we found out that we're pretty sure that him, his brother, and his dad being the main guy, ripped off a bunch of they had like a Medicare Medicaid thing where they were ripping off Medicare Medicaid in New York. So they had like 2 sets of books, and they had some sort of like a quick care business.
Get that money.
Right. And then his dad was on the run for years and got picked up. He was on America's Most Wanted. My buddy, my roommate at the time, he goes, "Hey, this is a guy, I'm sure of it. We need to steer clear of this motherfucker." And one time we were walking through the neighborhood, and he's like, "Hey guys, can you help me out?" And we're like, yeah, sure. What do you need, man? He was like, "Yeah, just come in here." And we helped him take out the microwave and I think we helped him out at least take out like a washing machine or something like that. But they were part of the unit, and we basically helped him steal some appliances. And then after we left, I was like, I'm pretty sure we just helped him steal that shit. And my buddy was in law school at the time. He goes, let's not talk about this.
Yeah, ever. Except on your podcast.
So that never happened. Yeah.
I
So
love
he
it.
was on
That was a
America's Most
dream.
Wanted?
So there were 2 brothers that were part of it, and they did time.
Not
and then their
us.
dad, who was like the ringleader guy who was responsible for it, just went missing. And they found him in Tucson or Phoenix or something not very long ago. Well, this would have been not very long ago then, so probably like 10 years ago. But he was like on the run for 15 years. Changed his name, did all this shit, and they
Fuck
finally
you, John
like,
Walsh.
yeah.
I had a buddy over yesterday to do my blind friend I do a podcast with, and he started
Justin
talking.
Bishop?
Justin Bishop, and it's irrelevant. And he started talking about We were talking about
Jesus
just
Christ.
like seeing
Friendships
weird.
are relevant and shit out here. Damn. I'd hate to not be on a podcast with you.
You can give him a
Call
shout out.
me
We'll tag him.
irrelevant.
So I do this show with this black guy, right?
Not relevant.
He's
No,
half
but
Korean.
We
Okay.
were talking about like watching. We're really into my girl and his girl both love Investigation Discovery.
Okay.
Like, love them. And he was saying how he made fun of one of the episodes, and his girl caught him and was like, "Hey, that's a person that was raped and then murdered." And he was like, I'm sorry. And I go, I laugh at that shit all the time too, but I laugh at the reenactments
Right.
because the actors are garbage. Like, I so badly want to be a reenactment actor on it, like Joe Kenda or some shit, right?
I want to do the sexual harassment stuff that they show new hires. Where can't believe Jeff. Do you want to happen? This is like the people that are the offensive people. Sorry.
No, not telling you to
aggressive
stop. That was
shoulder on
the.
It's okay.
Oh yeah.
buddy.
Where they're just like, yeah. And then they tell like a joke that is like so horribly racist. And then
Yeah.
by the end of the time, you're like, "Fuck, man, that joke really wasn't that bad." And she's
Yeah.
like,
He got fired for that fire joke. What the fuck?
"Well, it's like the
Promote 'em.
people that were like, so they're so outdated that now that they've flipped. When I watch like like the harassment videos now, I'm just like, wait a second." Like, why is everybody upset over this one? I was like, that's weird. I'm like, this is like it. I'd have to watch it again, but I was watching one where I got hired recently. I was like, this is from the 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, these are
And they're-
horribly
and then the-
imbalanced.
Is it the health card or TAM card video that they make you watch?
They
It's-
used to. Now
it's-
they're all iPads and shit. If you
Yeah,
don't
they
right?
used to let you do all that, where they give you pretty much the answer sheet beforehand. They're like, "This is what you're gonna
Yeah.
review."
Yeah.
Like, don't look at
But
it.
that,
What-
the video they make you watch is old,
Yeah.
like really old and amazing. But yeah, we were talking about that and how I was like, I just love how shitty these actors are. I go, I just once want to see a legit like Oscar-winning actor.
Daniel
do-
Day Lewis.
Yeah,
Right,
Say.
right. Like
Am I
you're
left footing it
watching,
up in there?
you're watching like this story about someone being murdered, and then Brad Pitt comes around the corner, and you're like, "What the fuck is Brad Pitt doing here?" That would be amazing.
He
And
got
goes,
electrocuted on the.
He
The
said
detective
first,
from Seven.
first season Unsolved Mysteries had Matthew McConaughey on retainer.
Fuck yeah.
So there's like shirtless or like sleeveless with a little button open Matthew McConaughey being like, "Where's my sister?" Like numerous times throughout the first season. And it's like one of the best things I've ever seen
That's
ever.
like Lawrence Fishburne
So-
on Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse.
Right? So we started watching.
Dude, what about Tales from the Crypt? They had a lot of like
Oh,
A-list
shit.
celebrities back in the day.
Yeah.
Like
that
Don
were prior,
Cheadle?
prior to. Yeah, I think Don Cheadle was on there.
Oh shit!
You know what? You threw it out there. I'm not.
I'm not.
He was just agreeing. He
Yeah.
was like, "That sounds right."
Yep.
That sounds like some Don Cheadle
Time
would
frame
do.
links up. Maybe Mark Ruffalo. A little bit of MCU continuity in there.
Dude, I have to look it up, but I remember seeing a handful of like A-list celebrities doing Tales from the Crypt.
Holy shit!
We started watching Unsolved Mysteries last night to like see
Were you guys high?
The older one
Yeah.
or the
Oh,
newer
oh, I
one?
was like, why would you
Dude.
watch that?
It was like two
shit?
different ones.
Dude, as soon as it starts, I was like, "Oh, this is already creepy." Like, because when you were a kid, that was the scariest goddamn thing you've ever seen. Because those people were still not caught; they were still out and
at
about.
large
Like cold
type
case
of-
Yeah.
files, that kind of shit. Yeah.
But it was Unsolved Mysteries,
Mhm.
and like what Robert Stack, best person they could have found for that show ever. His voice and everything, and he's always in
His
that
persona.
trench coat.
Yeah,
He's just got his hands in the pockets.
he's like the Vincent Price of our generation.
Who's Vincent Price?
Edward Scissorhands' dad, the guy who did the laugh in Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that voice.
Doesn't he do
Oh,
the whole
shit.
narration in
Yeah,
Thriller?
the whole narration. Yeah,
Yeah.
That dude's voice is dope.
yeah.
Unsolved Mysteries is so terrifying.
hilarious.
That was where I was.
We all
getting.
just
I like
went to that
Unsolved
place. We're
Mysteries.
like, oh my god.
Holy shit. But yeah, no,
Do you feel it?
we watched like one episode and I was like, this is creeping me out. We might need to turn it off. But then I fell asleep.
We've been watching a lot of those the confessions stuff on Netflix right now, where people falsely confess to crimes that they didn't do just because they were interrogated.
Because they didn't
so
lawyer up.
hard.
Dumbass
Right?
motherfuckers.
That's what I say every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Dumbass
Like, dude, all you gotta do is ask.
motherfuckers.
And a couple of them even ask for a lawyer, and they're like the cops go off and pretend to get on the phone and look all frustrated, and then come in and keep on questioning them. It was like, you don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
just wait for your lawyer.
Well,
to come
okay,
up.
so that's why, like, as a teacher, like, we need to restart teaching these kids about their rights, like the right to remain silent, like all that shit. Like, use some common sense, use some discernment. Like, everyone just wants to be like, I didn't do fucking nothing. Get off me, motherfucker. You didn't fucking. Just shut the fuck up. Don't say anything.
Have you seen those two
They hold you
lawyers
for
that are smoking the blunts?
No.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Shut the fuck up. They have like a face like a Instagram. They're like, it's Shut the Fuck Up Friday, and they got like two fucking blunts. And the guy's like, one of the guys is like sitting there like smoking a blunt, and the guy's in the background like fucking chiefing it up. And he goes,
"What do you do?"
He goes,
Shut
"Yeah."
the fuck up.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
Cop says, "What are you doing here?" And the guy in the background goes, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
But they're just chiefing it up. They're like, then you call us, and we'll get you out of this
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. Don't say a fucking word. So that's why, like, I want to like test it. Like, if I ever get brought into an interrogation room, I just want to put my head down and go to sleep. And they come in like, hey, you want something to drink? Hey, you want a sandwich? Just put my head down and go to sleep. Like, I want to test it,
That's so funny. you
but
said
I
that, 'cause
just want to like, I'm just gonna lawyer up and get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, smart move.
What kind of crime are you trying to commit?
No, like if I ever get caught because I'm black.
If
and
I
so this
ever
is something
get
that I worry
caught.
about.
Well, they pull people in for bullshit all the time too. They're like, you happen to be around this area, and then they pull in to try to talk to you. You don't have to say shit. You don't even
Yeah.
have to be there.
Yeah.
Well, half of the time, people can leave.
Well, it's like
And they're like, well, I didn't know I could just leave.
yeah, you just
Like,
get up
yeah,
and
no,
go.
You
Yeah,
can just leave.
yeah. So that's why you have to say, "Am I being detained? Am I free to go?" And then they have to answer, and you just get the fuck up and walk out. But people think like you're in the school principal's office,
Right.
so you have to stay. It's like, no, get the fuck up and
Yeah,
walk
you're
out.
conditioned as
Exactly,
as a kid, right?
exactly. Prisoner pipeline, bro. That's what I'm talking about. All my brothers and sisters. No, just kidding.
So our podcast, we typically do service industry stories. So things that you've done while you've been in your service industry, and like you just said, you're a teacher. So I mean, as I mentioned before, that I mean, it's the greatest service industry anybody could do. Right along first responders. I mean, you guys are.
Frontline shit.
Yeah, you're on the front lines. You're the ones who are helping America's youth, our youth, become who they become. I'm sure you've seen some
You're
stuff.
to blame.
Yeah, well, the education system is fucked because we keep teaching these kids towards standardized testing. So that's like a very obvious metric as opposed to critical thinking. Like, how do you test? How do you measure critical thinking, discernment, ethics, like all that kind of shit that we need in our culture, in our society now? Civics, like how to be like actively involved in politics. Like, we don't want that. All we want is blind consumerism. So that's all we're basically teaching towards. In Indiana, when I was a sub, I had a shitty 8th grade class. 8th graders are the worst. They're the fucking worst
They're all
because
Getting drunk off Malibu and
yeah,
fingering
fingering,
fingers.
yeah,
on the rooftop.
because that's when hormones are peak.
They're
They're
getting
not 6th
puberty.
graders. Yeah, they're like, wait, I'm not a dumb 6th grader anymore. Wait,
I'm the
what?
king of this school.
I'm the king of this school. I'm the big fish. I'm about to go to high school. So they're dumb, and so I fucking hate. So in Indiana,
I love it, but everyone here just went.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, Nobody's
I-
mad at you for
totally-
calling 8th graders dumb.
No,
No,
but even like you're looking at yourself in 8th grade and going,
yeah, I was dumb.
Oh,
yeah. And then
hands down. I was
so I told the principal that these kids are
whatever you want to do, man. Yeah.
what do you want? You tell me. Sorry.
no,
I
that's
didn't
fine.
mean it.
No, this is a drinking podcast. Yeah,
I would say let me finish.
It's
this
part of
over
it.
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
just
we could
let's just
totally-
make
Let
them
me
a,
know when you're ready.
no, let's make them another one so it's on deck. So when
And
he's
another one.
So
and
he doesn't
another
interrupt
one.
another great story.
Yeah, you goddamn motherfucker.
I was trying to do it.
It's the Eiler connection over here. Oh, that's the other thing too. In the
Everybody thinks
Midwest,
his name is Tyler too. That's how.
or Kyle.
That's how he explains it
Kyle,
every single time.
Skyler.
He goes, it's Tyler with a K.
What's your last name?
Fleming.
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 1M.
So everyone
couldn't
thinks
afford
it's-
the other one.
Everyone thinks it's Kyle R. Fleming.
Maybe.
No, okay,
It's
just me.
J actually. Yeah.
Fleming, dude.
R.J.
We used to
Fleming?
have. We had the same gym teacher who was Fleming.
Fleming.
Fucking that guy went through 2 generations, and his wife worked
He
there.
went through
I guarantee.
well, I guess it's
that
the
his
same-
wife had because she was
We
the
aren't-
female gym teacher.
We aren't
Jeez.
different generations, but he went through 4 different Flemings.
I guess
Oh.
generation. If you had
'Cause
an
his
entire,
Well, I
wife
think
was-
high school
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right, right.
Well, then he went through 3 because
But it's not like millennial and Gen Z, like kind of weird ass shit.
yeah. Well, he's
you
5
still
years older
considered
than
a
me.
millennial?
I think so. I'm 93.
I don't know if you made the.
when I
Yeah,
was
you
born.
made the cut.
Either
Yeah,
way,
cut, yeah.
you're 5 years older than me. You're 10 years older than our littlest sister. I'm
Yeah.
5 years older. So our age gap is the same as mine and my littlest sister's age gap.
Oh,
And then the Mr. Rockmore, who was the Fleming guy.
He did that to all you guys?
Dude,
Yeah,
he
well,
did it every
that to both of us
fucking
because
day.
he was the men's PE teacher or the boys' PE teacher, and then
I would
his
assume
wife
it's like
was the
having a guy who's
girls'
got a
PE
joke
teacher.
that crushes.
Well, no,
and
like-
that guy does
like I
not
get
let
it
that
because I
joke
have
go.
a student named Jocelyn, and every time I call her Jocelyn, I'm like, all right, Jocelyn, you go sit over there every time, and it cracks me up, and I know she's just sitting there like, you fucking idiot.
asshole.
Yeah. So I get the Fleming guy. I get it. But
No, he was cool. Like I liked him a lot.
no, but
he was
like
a great
saying
PE
it, like
teacher.
every time you say it, like I get it, like
Dude,
because
it
it
was
just
like-
makes you laugh. And
would
when you're
tickle
stuck in
him
that
inside.
goddamn windowless box for 8 hours a day, you just need to make yourself laugh. So I'm out there roasting kids
Have you
and
seen
shit.
the Amy Klobuchar stand-up like mashup?
No, I don't even know who that is.
She's running for president.
Oh, okay, yeah, no.
Good sign.
I don't even know who that is.
She's the one every debate she shakes so much that she has a piece of hair right here that just
Gyrates.
just vibrates on her forehead. And I'm like, you are not fit. Like you can't even debate your own.
Putin
your
would
own
roast,
team.
would roast you, bitch.
Yeah, Putin will rip you apart.
Turning
Like,
into poutine.
she.
You jiggly bitch.
You're Canadian now. How about that?
But they have like all. I hate all of these like candidates and stuff have like their own little jokes and their own little shit. And I guess Trump called her Snow Woman
Snow Woman.
because she's from the Midwest.
Oh yeah.
And she
Burn.
and her whole thing is like 'cause she was
Take
like
that.
Trump put it out and called me the Snow Woman, and I said I'd like to see how your hair fares in the Midwest, and it's her going from city to city to city.
Saying that?
I didn't want to call it a joke.
Oh my
yeah, just
God.
saying
She thought that was fucking
Her little
gold.
and
bitch.
she dies laughing the same amount every single time.
Yeah.
There's one where
She's a sociopath.
there's like 3 rows of people behind her.
she buries people
So
in her
you see like
backyard.
12 people, and she hits
Not with that
the
permafrost, bro.
quote unquote punchline, and they all just sit dead face while she laughs at her own
Oh, that's the worst.
punch. And I was just like,
It's like people sitting in the
hate
back
you.
of dive bar. It's like
Yeah.
you get crushed and you don't know because you can't hear that shit.
yeah, but it's so bad. It's so bad. She was like, yeah, I'd like to see how his hair fares. And it's all a Twitter story. Like, she's like, so
timing's
I
terrible.
tweeted back, and I was like, I hate you. I hate you so much. I don't
It's
know
a good
how
thing
she
she's
has
really
the
not
guts
on
to do that.
anybody's radar.
She'll
Yeah.
be out.
Her whole focus right now is that because she's from the Midwest and they call it flyover territory.
Yeah. You're just
She's
kind of
like-
hopping over there to get to New York.
It's,
or
yeah, it's
Yeah.
flyover.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, that's where I'm from, and that's where we need to win. And I'm like, you are a dumb
Yeah,
bitch.
that's where Trump dominated.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
like, I got Jason Aldean's support. We're the flyover states.
Isn't Jason Aldean the Mandalay Bay guy?
Yeah.
He was there during Route 66.
Yeah, it was his concert. Yeah.
It was his concert.
Way
yeah.
to bring it down.
So I was
He's got a
teaching
song
in the
called
Midwest. Back to my
Please, yeah, to
fucking
get back to
story.
it. Boy, we have
Jesus
been trying
Christ.
hard. Well, I don't think we've.
I gotta
well,
mass shoot this conversation just to get it back to my story. Jesus Christ. Vegas strong.
I would
hashtag.
assume that anybody that's listening this far is just like, yeah, good joke.
So I was in Indiana when that happened. Then I moved here, and then the shit happened in El Paso, and I was like, "Oh shit!
You're next.
Where you calling
Oh
friends?
goddamn! All right, shit! Jesus Christ, Chase! Just because I fucking roasted your jowls, you're gonna take me out?
Indiana, man. I don't know.
Oh,
what
shit.
were you feeling? I don't.
Okay, so I was
Shit.
teaching in
I jumped
Indiana,
too many. I jumped.
and these 8th graders are fucking dumb as fuck, right?
Yeah,
And-
that's right.
And then so the principal calls me in, you know, like I'm trying to like figure out how to get them under wraps. And I had it. So I was like, I just can't handle these demons. They're demons. And she goes, please don't call my babies demons.
My baby.
And I was like,
She's delusional.
I guess I'm getting fired. But right before that, she had asked me to explain what a queef was.
Oh, okay.
wait. She
The
didn't
principal.
know what a queef
Because-
How old is the?
Because I taught science, and so I was teaching about aquifers, and all the kids kept saying all queefers. oh my God, these all queefers. I was like, stop saying that. They're like, what? What are we saying? I was like, you know exactly what you're saying. And I wrote them up for saying queef. And then the principal, when I went to go explain it to her, she's like, what's a queef?
She said, "What's a queef? Good luck trying to keep your hair looking like this in the
Old
snow."
black lady. And I was like, you don't know what a queef is? She's like, no. I was like,
I feel like it's not a new age term.
I wanted to look it up. Like, when did
Try to
queef
give you
get
a-
coined?
Hold on. Did you say pussy fart to the principal?
No,
Fuck yeah,
no,
pussy
I
fart.
explained it to her. I said it's whenever you're having sexual intercourse and the woman is bent
You
over,
became the 8th grader,
and
huh?
then he's penetrating and he's putting air inside, and then when he pulls out, it goes. And then she looked at me dead straight. She was like, "I can't believe you fucking said that, you
You
idiot."
asked me.
A week later, I was fired. So.
You want to know what an AMF is?
no.
I'm gonna tell you what an AMF is. Okay.
ATM? Ass to mouth?
Oh. Yeah.
When you're fucking a girl in the butthole and then she gives you a blowjob after, ass to mouth, baby.
You know when you're fucking a girl in the butthole and then she sucks your dick? That's ATM.
This ATM. You're fired. And then, yeah.
That's a bummer.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
You
that
should
is a
have
total
said, you should have said pussy fart. You should've just
Right?
said
I should have
pussy
just
fart.
said it's a pussy fart.
just-
She
it's a
would've-
pussy fart.
Yeah.
She'd be like, "Oh, I've had."
She
a
would have been
couple
like,
of
how
those."
is that anatomically possible, nigga? And I'd be like, I don't know. I can show you. I don't know.
How old?
Could
Was,
show you.
how old was she?
55, maybe pushing 60.
Well, she's had plenty in her
knew what
life.
that
She
was.
should totally know, right?
She 100%.
What did she
knows.
call them before? Maybe
She
just
wanted-
vagina farts.
Yeah,
Maybe
she wanted
pussy's
you
a
to
little too
show her.
far.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
You
mean,
should have gone in there hardcore with that. You know when your old ass bends over and then like you stand up too quick. Weep. That's a queef.
that's a queef, bitch.
Bitch.
All queefers. Yeah, so I got fired fucking
I like
quick.
how that you got
So that's
fired
when-
because the kids were calling it queef.
Yeah. So I
And
was
you
like-
just explained it to her.
yeah.
You should have just
queefer.
sent her the Urban Dictionary
queefer.
definition.
Yeah, I should have just been like, I don't think it's appropriate to discuss. Like, I should have been a fucking professional, but I'm a dumb ass motherfucker. So
Dude,
I-
people are too
She
fucking
asked
sensitive.
you.
yeah.
Yeah, and if it's
Yeah, and then
two
I should have
adults-
kiboshed it. I should have just been like, no, I'm sorry. It is so offensive. I cannot explain it to you.
Is it
You're being too
pronounced
hard on
kibosh?
yourself.
As
I
a
thought
teacher,
I thought it was kibosh.
kibosh.
I've always called it kibosh.
He taught English in Korea.
Oh shit.
Please give me cock.
Yeah.
Do you have cock? Do you remember cock?
Hold on. Sorry.
Was that on Tosh?
Yeah, it's
I'm
K
sure
I
it was.
B O S H.
Fuck,
Kibosh.
there's an I in there?
There is no A.
I've 100%. There's no A.
There's no A.
I've heard it kibosh.
Put an end
Yeah,
to
put the
dispose
kibosh on
of decisively. Yeah. Kibosh? You think about kebabs, nigga. You're hungry.
He's that could be.
I
it.
could go for a kebab.
I think that's the first time I said nigga on this podcast. But you channel my
Kebabs
inner
would
crab
be
meat,
delicious.
So.
You
Kebab.
say
Inner
whatever you
crab
want.
Yeah.
Your inner crab.
Then I thought of something so.
I'm sorry,
different
by the way.
Before we
No,
were
it's
like,
fine.
"This is crab meat." I'm like, "Is it imitation?
Is it the real shit?
Red with like
It's a
kind of
California roll?
He's
How's that
authentic.
go?
That dude's authentic as fuck.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He gives 0 fucks.
Yeah.
No,
That's for damn sure.
mhm.
Yeah.
So being a
I love
teacher,
that guy.
typically is it always 8th grade? Is it- 'cause I know
that
you-
gets people in trouble?
No. Just that you teach. So this
No,
during
I-
this time you were substitute, right?
Yeah, okay.
And then-
So I taught middle school. Well, I was a sub, so I taught every class. And middle school was the worst because I was also a long-term sub at another middle school and got fired. So I was just like, I can't handle middle school. Then I went to a high school and thrived. And then so I was like, oh, okay, so it's just middle school. So when
They're
I
cool
came-
with queefs at high
Yeah,
school.
exactly. Yeah. And in high school, they're queefing everywhere. They don't give a fuck, right? All queefers. And then so I came here,
Aquifers.
and then I got hooked up with this high school that's like high school middle, and I thrived. And they said, "Do you want to come back and teach middle school drama?" And I was like, "You know what? Yeah, let's do it." And then I'm just roasting these kids every fucking day. It's so great.
They're the ones that can handle it, though, right? I mean, like I feel like
Yes.
as far as knowing,
Yes.
when I went to school, the drama kids were
No,
in
no,
my
no.
opinion, some of the funnest.
Oh
kids.
no, as far as drama, no, forget. Like, I could be teaching origami. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, they're dumb. They don't give a shit about it, right? All they want to do is play and break stuff, right? And so in class, I try to give them activities to just like keep them quiet and focused, and it's just impossible. But I'm just roasting them all day. They just try to clap back, but they're so dumb. They have the attitude, but they don't have the wit. So I'm like, I do stand-up comedy. Like, what are you trying to do? You're trying to come at me? And like, they know I do stand-up comedy. I just fucking roast them. I'm like, all right, get the fuck out of here. And they're like, ooh.
What's one of the funniest things you've heard? What are one of the funniest comebacks that ever come your way?
From the kids?
Yeah.
Nothing, because they're dumb.
Nothing.
They're
Well,
so
there's
dumb.
gotta be
It doesn't
one
have to be
kid
up to
out
your
there.
standard, but even something that came off and be like, okay.
I just
Give
saw
him like a thumbs up. or
just
something
today
like,
a
nice.
6th grade boy was checking girls out. He was talking with me, asking me to like get like some permission slips so he could film something, and then he just walks and like looks and at the girls walking out the door, and I was like, dude, what is wrong with you? And he turns beet red, and I just start roasting him like, these kids are dumb.
Like, got nothing to come back.
Fuck, I
Nothing.
need to be a teacher.
Yeah, it
Sounds so much fun.
it's so fun.
So I guess more than anything that they've said back to you, what is one of the most ridiculous, one of the funniest things that you've ever seen happen?
Besides a pervy 6th grader,
I mean,
checking out
every
girls
6th
walk-
grader is a
yeah.
pervy 6th grader.
yeah,
Dude, I work
Whether
with
they show it or
pervy
not.
40-year-olds
Well,
now.
When I was in 6th grade, they didn't have parts to perv over.
Oh, it's different
Right,
now with
yeah.
Instagram and TikTok. I mean, just open up TikTok and you'll just see fat asses all day.
Of 6th graders?
No.
Oh,
A
good,
full
good.
grown.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No,
Right,
as
No,
a
I'm not getting on TikTok.
as a
Quit trying to
6th
get
grader, with a phone and access to this, all you're doing is looking at asses and titties. That's it on Instagram. Like cosplay. Oh my God, cosplay has changed the world. All these horny 5th graders and 6th graders. Oh my God, it's ridiculous. We had, and I want to put this actually in my stand up. We used to have, that's the fucking.
No, it sounds like something else.
Sounds like someone talking
Someone
outside.
outside.
Friday Night Lights, dude.
Yeah,
That's the high
Friday-
school.
oh, it's the
next
high
to
That's
school.
us.
right.
Oh.
That's right.
They have one of
That's
the
right.
best bands in the city.
Oh
And,
shit!
he's on the fucking intercom going over the whole stadium.
Oh,
But
Nick Cannon's
doesn't
out
he
there.
know?
Stadium.
Yeah. Drum
I'm
line.
gonna write a letter. We're in the middle of a podcast and they're trying to.
What was I talking about?
Horny 6th grader.
Yeah,
Oh,
horny
yeah, on
6th graders
TikTok?
Piece of shit.
So I want to put this
Cosplay.
in. Yeah, we used to have Sears and Montgomery Ward catalogs. We used to have like 7 pictures of women in bras.
Well, you're talking about
Smiling
the material that you. Had
Yeah,
back in the
yeah,
day?
that's what we
Yeah,
had. And
yeah.
now, the amount of shit they have. Oh my God, I would not stop beating my dick if I were a 6th grader right now. Like,
You right?
you
I talked about the same thing where when I was
just the
younger.
same as Sears catalogs. They just got better material now.
When I was younger, the porn was still on the internet, but the internet connections were awful.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah.
Dial up.
Yeah. So what I would
So
do
you had to
is
save pictures.
You die.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it was always from the bottom up. So you're like, come on.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Or
Have
you
a good
start
face. Have a good
downloading
face.
it.
Yeah. Please, for the love of God, have a good face.
You start
Just
downloading it
fucking
when you leave the
print.
house, and then when you come back, it's
It's
fully
one picture.
downloaded.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a
it's-
bold move.
Boy, you were
player.
lucky enough to have a computer in your room, weren't you?
I'm a little bit older than you guys, so it was like a college move.
Oh, I
Ah.
see. Yeah.
Napster.
Gotcha.
That's a Napster
Well,
move
yeah,
right
My
Lime
parents
wire.
put it right out in the
LimeWire.
middle of
Oh
the
my-
living room. You
Yeah.
couldn't do that. You had to go out while everybody was
Fair
sleeping.
share.
Hopefully,
You had that new folder that no one knew.
Yeah.
And you
How to
created like all
access.
these subfolders.
Folders
No
on
one's
folders.
gonna click to 100 folders deep.
They're gonna give up eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like 2 hours of work just to get
Just
to
for
it.
one picture.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So same with cheating. Like you spend 3 times as long learning how to cheat and spending time on how you're gonna cheat on a test rather than just learning the fucking
Just
Yeah.
material.
studying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about in relationships.
Yeah, I was like, damn, bro.
We're not talking about this.
No, when I was younger, so I would do my friend that had the it was like the Playhouse. You did whatever you want.
Yeah.
He had a really fast internet connection for the time, so you could print out a photo and it would take 10 minutes, which was fast like back then when it would take forever to load and
Pretty
then you'd be able to
solid.
print it. So what I would do is I'd go over there, print out my porn, and then I would take it and fold it up and put it in one specific pair of shorts.
Cargo
And
shorts.
Jinkos?
Exactly.
His Janko jeans.
So I would keep those in the closet, and then when it was time to go do the business, I'd change into the shorts and then go ahead to the bathroom.
Pavlovian response. So every time you wear those shorts,
A
the
boner came
pool-
out.
I can't wear cargo shirts anymore.
Yeah.
Well, first off, they're horrible. It's like
Oh, they're
anybody living,
disgusting.
Checking
anybody
gets a
out there
boner the
listening-
whole time.
right?
Yeah.
And fucking, why do these shorts feel so
They're so
good?
tight.
And then I would put them on, and then I'd head to the bathroom, and then I'd go back. You know, once you're done, you're like, fuck, I don't want anything to do with these pants. So then I would go put them back. And one time on my way out, I've told this before, but my dad was like, hey, come out here and check us out in the backyard. I'm like, fuck. Like, but if I go change my pants now, it's gonna look weird. They're
Yeah.
gonna know like something's up. I go out there, and he throws my ass into the pool.
he ruined your pictures. No, you son of a bitch.
I tried so hard to not get thrown in the pool. Like, I felt like that was the first time the fight or flight hit me, and I was like, fuck you, you're not going to catch me. I jumped over the wall. I tried. My parents had this huge back wall. I was trying to scale that son of a bitch and go to the neighbor's yard, and then, like, but now I'm like, fuck, like, why am I pussing out? Like, it's just, you know,
Yeah,
and this finally I got thrown in the pool.
So did you like trifold these photos?
Four. They were so half, and then, yeah, they were in there. In the cargo, and I had a lot,
to
like
this-
some fucking quality.
To
ones.
this day, are you into like odd
angles.
Yeah, and wrinkles in chicks' titties.
I
and
definitely
stuff?
don't think that it's left a lasting impression on me over the years. Because shortly after that, I had a girlfriend and was actually able to see live titties, and I was like, you know what? I don't think I need this material as much. Not,
Yeah.
that, not that it's gone.
Also,
but
you're 14
yeah,
after the rooftop experience.
yeah. But I never saw anything. I just felt it. You know,
Oh.
I would assume it's not the same because I felt it, and I was like, ugh. And I smelt it, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah. That's an acquired taste. This is like beer. It's an acquired
How
taste.
much, how
You're
much
gonna love it
older-
one day, son. Trust me.
It's going to be the greatest thing ever.
How much older was she?
Maybe a couple years. She was slightly older. I think she was maybe a year or two older than us. I really don't remember her name. I remember that she had two little brothers, and they were like, they were definitely like redneck little kids. Like they were like poorly brought up. The whole situation was just bad. She was like a little
Kinda
badass
like the redneck,
child.
like F is for Family, the Bill Burr cartoon.
That's what I was thinking
those-
too.
Yeah,
the two
very,
boys.
very
Yeah.
similar.
One of
to
them's
that.
always in a diaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very close to that, and then I don't know the whole situation, but it didn't
He
seem like a
remembered a
good spot.
fupa. You know,
I
that was the
definitely
big thing
remember that.
he had to get over the mound
Yeah, I remember having
to get
yeah.
to the Graceland.
There was, I remember getting to the chub, hitting the forest, and then getting to pay dirt, and pay dirt smelling like, you know, stanky vagina.
Like dirt.
The
Yeah.
funniest thing about those cargo pants was not getting thrown into the pool. It was when my mom accidentally washed them.
Oh,
And,
no.
My dad came out and was like, "Hey, so maybe put them somewhere else."
Maybe put him somewhere else.
You're like, Dad, I had a foolproof plan, and Mom and you fucked it up.
My
So
dad
you dried them? You dried them? Laid them out
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the,
yeah.
the radiator?
I fucking kept the pictures.
Oh
Because,
my
I
God.
got out there early enough, and I was able to dry them out, and then I put them back into the cargo pants.
my
And then
God.
later, my mom came in and did like a deep clean and found them and washed them. And then my dad comes in and goes, it was it was so fucking nonchalant. He just comes in and goes, "Hey, your mom found your porn pants. Maybe don't do that." And then out. My dad was the coolest fucking dude ever. Like, if you could have a dad
If he
that
came
was
up-
more understanding, you could not. Because like,
Maybe don't. All right,
If you
no,
came
no.
up with porn pants,
Yeah.
porn pants was the name that he dropped
Yeah.
on me. Which is
I'm
what
a
like
fan.
porn
I'm a
pants.
fan. I'm totally a fan of your dad.
That's so funny.
there was one time I got hammered drunk. Like the first time that I really got like drunk was I worked at Quiznos Subs. I was
Oh, shit.
16 years. Quiznos Subs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was exactly that time.
It
right
was that
after
time.
when they
Are there-
switched over
are
to the
there
baby.
Any Quiznos still open?
Pretty sure they're done. Like all the ones in Vegas.
least not
I've never.
here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Getting ready to Google Quiznos subs.
Yeah, bro. Curiosity. That's what
I
we
do
need
the
to
same
teach
thing
in
all
school.
the time
Toasted
too. Like,
subs.
check it out on our next episode. I'm like, no, this is actually it.
Yeah, he did that shit to me. But so I worked at Quiznos Subs. My boss was slinging dope out of the back of the Quiznos Subs
There are,
talking
location.
at least,
weed
there are at least
class.
three.
Yeah, they were like 30 years old. A
Yeah,
manager
don't call
at
it
Quiznos
dope.
Subs.
It's marijuana.
Yeah, that's a one term.
I-
I'm like, what drug are you talking about?
I'm pretty sure they slang multiple shit, so I don't want to I don't want to put him in a bubble.
You just
Like
say
I don't want
weed
to
then.
limit him to
'Cause-
weed
yeah, I
because I'm
mean-
pretty sure he was slinging whatever he can get his hands on.
There's one on Rancho.
Oh no way!
There's still one here, huh? Nice.
Rancho
There's one on
makes-
Durango.
Way
Rancho
the
and
fuck
Durango
out
totally
there.
makes
There's none of them
sense.
And
near
then
us.
Wayne
huh?
Newton Boulevard.
Nowhere near.
No way!
Nowhere near us.
Where the
Quiznos
fuck is Wayne
subs.
Newton Boulevard?
Let me get you directions. Hang on a second.
Is it by his
Where-
ranch?
I'm gonna assume
Yeah,
it's
right?
quite a bit from here because anything in Vegas is quite a bit from here.
Yeah.
So
Wayne
It's,
Newton
it's
Boulevard.
right by the airport. It's right by the airport.
what? No way! There's no way that's accurate.
Just right below Trop.
There
gotta
is
be.
no way that's.
You know
still
what?
a
I'm gonna take a
franchise
fuck. I'm
location.
gonna go there. I'm gonna take a photo.
There you
and
go.
I'm gonna be like,
We're filming tomorrow. Bring
Attach it
Quiznos
to the-
subs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tag it to the Gone Too Far from Behind the Bar.
yeah,
You know, Instagram,
Instagram, yeah.
Facebook, Twitter.
GTF BTB.
So
That's it.
my
Yeah.
my manager at the time
Sounds
bought
like a
us
K-pop
bought-
band.
There you go. There's
Hey,
got to
we
be
can do
what,
that.
6 of us, 7 of us?
Yeah.
just a little bit more makeup and a lot of really intense angles.
Yeah.
Longer hair.
Yeah, you're right.
Only
And,
slightly.
and Koreans.
Out
Yeah,
of
we're missing out on that
control,
part.
dude. You ever go to Kaizen Sushi and they play the K-pop videos?
No.
It's not Easter.
Throw
It's
off the
actually a
K-
little bit
I've-
further from here.
Yeah.
It's-
Hey,
it's
real quick,
really
what's the
good,
best
actually.
sushi place? I want to take my girl.
Yama Sushi.
Yama
There's-
Sushi.
Yama
Spring
Sushi's
Mountain.
dope.
There's 2 different ones. There's one on Spring Mountain, then there's one on Flamingo, in
Flamingo
between
and
Maryland and
Maryland.
Algonquin.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Yama's
Yeah.
dope. Kaya Sushi's
So
really
good.
good.
We go.
like
we
Kaya.
pass there to go to work. Okay.
Yeah, make sure to get the spicy seafood salad. You don't have to get the seafood in it. They do like diced, almost poke style seafood, but they do a variety of fish. So if you're into that, it's cool. It just fills you up. But if you don't want to be filled up right away off the seafood salad, just get it veggies only. They'll give you like asparagus, daikon radish in the kind of noodle style.
Damn, nigga, do they
Cucumber.
sponsor this podcast?
No, but it's just that's where that's where we
Years.
go, man. We
Oh,
love
I've been
it.
going there for
But the
years.
sauce is what I dip my sushi in afterwards instead of like soy sauce or soy with wasabi, which apparently is like you're not supposed to put wasabi in the soy sauce.
No.
That's the thing.
Yeah, well,
No, because they put the
who-
wasabi in the fish when they put the rice in, and then that's it.
yeah,
And if they don't, then it's not supposed to be eaten that way.
Right.
But we're Americans. We love dipping shit.
yeah.
Hold,
so
wait.
Dipping's a thing.
You were not supposed to put wasabi in the soy sauce.
I guess not. That's
What's it
because
there
that's what I've been
for?
told. You can have it individually by itself, just like the ginger. The ginger's to clear your palate.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
that makes sense.
yeah.
But I like a little spicy soy sauce.
I agree with
Yeah,
you.
because we're American.
But that's like supposed to be a no-go. But if you want to dip, get the spicy. If you don't like spicy, they have mild or they have creamy. But you can get the
The sauce is what it
the
is.
sauce is what it's all about. And then you put it in your little side bowl, and then dip your seafood or rolls or whatever in that afterwards. It's so fucking
Yama?
good. Yeah, Yama.
Yama's
It,
solid.
it ruined all other sushi places for me because like they don't have the spicy seafood salad sauce.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's so good.
No. I got to drive. I'm going
So
to
good.
crash out on your couch.
Yeah, you can hang here.
What's up, Alice? Hi.
Ashley.
Oh, damn it. I was so close.
It was close.
Amanda. I just
We saw the
AK.
Queen of Hearts. In the
Oh yeah,
restroom.
yeah, good call.
Yeah, the AK up there.
I guess there's a flag up there too, huh?
So
Yeah,
you
that's
seem
why
like
I was like-
ex-military a lot.
Yeah, I was
doesn't
like,
it?
yo, man, what branch?
Well, plus the haircut and like the build, people think that I'm ex-military all the time. I feel guilty every time somebody asks me.
What,
They're like, "Hey, what branch are you from?" I didn't do it, and they're like, "Really?" And they'll look me up and down. I'm like, "Fuck." Like,
judging you to your face?
yeah, like,
Fucking-
really?
mm,
Why
okay.
not? I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, dude, I just said no. Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna steal this valor. I'm not gonna fucking
No
Right. I
way.
don't want to be an asshole and
yeah,
be like, "Oh
get
yeah, yeah,
punched
yeah."
in the face.
No, I'm not about that.
Yeah.
Not
I
that I
totally
wouldn't.
wouldn't feel bad about someone mistaking me for military. I
If you-
never.
no, I
get
feel
mistaken for
guilty that I
military.
didn't do it. This is like one of those
Yeah.
things where it's like, oh yeah, you must have like saved people from a fire. I'm like, I never saved nobody from a fire, man.
Started a few fires.
Right.
Right. I did swap the codes at Winco, and you know,
Yeah.
You ever do the one where you buy like a case of a drink like Powerade or Gatorade or whatever, but you can move one Gatorade to where you just
oh,
ring
so you paid
that,
for one.
that one up and then you put it. Yeah, that was.
Did you get away with
best move? Yeah, this was like back when it first started.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because now they'll randomly check your
It's the weight.
receipts.
They know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, but those people don't give a fuck. You think
Yeah.
people care? You think they're like?
I remember
on
one time-
Like the guys
One
at,
time
like,
I-
Costco, they're like, yeah,
hallway
let's get it.
patrol. They have zero.
No,
pride
one
in
time
their
I just
job.
I was like, I'm not gonna pay for this toilet paper, and then they were like, boop, you didn't pay for this. You got to go to the fucking thing and pay for it. I was like, you know what? Just keep it. I don't want it.
Just
And
take
I
it
just
back.
Left because I love stealing from Walmart.
I'll take some from
Yeah.
7-Eleven. So my dad used to do all the time is what he used to tell me when he was in college. He'd
Yeah.
like they'd go into the convenience stores like 7-Eleven and stuff, and they just take whatever rolls they could off. That's why sometimes you find the locks on the fucking boxes. No, just the ones that are on the roll.
Yeah, yeah.
you know, like in the bathroom that are
Talking about
actually
hot
on the
dogs?
roll.
Oh, toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
Oh, yeah.
He would just take the ones that because they have 3 lined up. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
And you have the one that would just take all 3 off of that motherfucker and just walk out with it.
My dad grew up so poor. Like he was the youngest of 12, and his dad died when he was like
Jesus.
6. And Montana, so like there's just no money in Montana. So like he would tell us stories about the horrible shit that he would have to do just to survive.
This
Yeah.
was in college, man.
Yeah,
He-
yeah,
he
but
got
yeah,
the-
then he went to like Minnesota and went to
Jesus.
college. But then it was just like I was like, yeah, whatever, Dad.
What did
Like
what
when I
did
was
he
a kid,
do? Like, what did your family do in Montana?
nothing. Like
Well,
what
my
did we
dad
do
was
in
a disc
Montana?
jockey.
Like,
He was a
Oh,
was a
really?
DJ. He was a
Yeah.
radio DJ.
I think Montana, and it's because I have family up there, and I come from like ranchers,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think Montana, and I think cattle, horses.
So our family was more
That
so,
one episode of King of the Hill where
Yeah.
Hank has to go up and see Peggy's bitch of a mom. Yeah,
So we're northwest Montana, which is like really mountainous, a lot of trees. The logging
closer to like
industry.
Glacier National Park, that kind of area.
Yeah, so it was like mining, logging. That was kind of the big industry, and then over
a lot
time,
of logging in our family.
yeah, logging was kind of the big deal. Like my uncle still is a logger. That over
Oh,
time,
damn, you hit the hard R. Okay.
that laga.
Yeah, Jesus, wow.
If you don't, you sound like
Abrasive
you're from
young man.
Boston.
Yeah, it's a lager.
Brave young man.
Oops.
I'm sorry, I ruined your story.
No, that's okay. Yeah, there's just nothing to do up there. Yeah, so we bounced back and forth because my dad was in radio, and then he went back up there. But there's no industry.
That's how we
dude.
ended up down here. He figured he'd go from Vegas to LA and he'd get one of those cool syndicated jobs like Ryan
Yeah.
Seacrest or something. And then he had 4 of us, and you have to do what you got to do. And
Yeah.
you know,
I
always
just
think
watched
about
we
that.
ruined his dreams.
So is the
Oh, yeah,
is the
your
little
children.
sister
Yeah.
the youngest?
Two
The
sisters.
littlest, yeah. We have 2 sisters underneath us. So
Oh, okay. So you're the oldest.
I'm the
he's
oldest.
the oldest. It goes
kinda
him,
middle.
myself,
And
my
the
little
power
sister's
bottoms.
1 year, and then 5 years underneath.
Did you say power bottoms?
Yeah, they're the underneath you, they're beneath you, right?
I don't thrust back. We get along really well. Yeah.
I told you
That's
we're
good.
not from Tennessee. We're from Montana. Sheep, not cousins
Yeah.
or family.
So we've heard a little bit about what you have seen or gone through as a teacher. You at the places that you've bartended or even bar backed. Is there anything that you've seen that you'd be like, this isn't fucking
Got any
happening
good
right
stories?
now? Even with the kind of smaller bar in the area that you're at, there's got to be some
No,
people
I
that
mean,
really give you some.
I was
like,
on the
holy
strip.
shit.
I was on the strip for 5 years.
So some that you've seen that you were like, no fucking way.
9 a.m. coming in. I was working the 9 to 5 the day shift, right? And these guys have this couple had been at the bar the whole time, like the whole grave shift. And this guy and this girl are just going at it, going like for real,
Like making
like,
making out. Fucking, what are they
making
going
out,
at?
making
They're
out, and
Okay.
then all of a sudden a titty popped out.
Ooh.
And I was like,
Highlight of the morning.
I'm halfway through coffee. I can't do titty sucking in my bar at 9:30 in the goddamn morning. Like that was one that I was like, I had to go over to the other I was a bar back, so I had to go over to the bartender and be like, is there titty out right now? Like, is that what's going on right now? Like, they're just, and I don't know, his hands were below the bar, so I don't know where they were, but she totally had a titty out, and I was like, we have to say something. Like, we can't just let that. There's 50 cameras on this bar right
Yeah.
now, so
we
yeah.
can't be letting this slide. We
Yeah.
gotta at least look like we're saying something.
Right. So
Take this
luckily,
back to the
I
hotel
love that
room.
was a moment where I liked being the bar back because I was like, that's on you. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta go cut limes. Yeah, you go take care of that shit. But other than that, I watched a guy steal a phone from someone who had passed out in our lounge. Like they fell. This dude, what? One person fell asleep and they had their phone sitting next to him, and someone just walked over and grabbed it and was walking off. And I go, "Hey, is that your phone?" And he looked at me for a second, and I was like,
Is it?
"Is that your friend? Or, like, what's going on, man?" And he went, "Man," and he goes, "Fuck you, Mario."
Do you have the same mustache during the time?
I had the mustache, and he turned around and from like 12 feet threw the phone at the person, like just chucked it.
Who still passed the fuck out?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then just walked out. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, and it was like my last. I think it might have been my last night on Graveyard. Like I was like, I'm getting ready to move. Like I'm moving on. I was getting ready to get a pool shift, and they just he tried to steal a phone. Working the pool. I worked at a casino where Sundays they do a huge gay party
You don't work there anymore,
Was
right?
this
Where
was
was
this a day club or was it for the hotel?
for the hotel.
Okay.
Huge,
Where was that?
I refer to it as the fuck sore.
Fuck.
Okay.
Huge gay party, Temptation Sundays, and it was known that like security kind of needed to monitor the bathrooms.
People were fucking.
Like
That was the fuck.
you walk in and there was a dude sitting on the sink, like on the counter, and another dude bent down just blowing him. Like that was not uncommon.
out in the
didn't have-
open, ready to go, huh? Not even in a stall.
Nope.
They didn't have the bathroom attendants. The guy that's like flipping you the towels and like, hey, you
Nah.
want cigarettes?
Give him like a
Blowjob?
20 and be like, let me
what,
get
Blue
this.
Man
Stall.
Group?
When was the last time? Yeah, just Blue Man Group.
Blown man
Shooting it
group.
out of the t-shirt can into you. Like no, it was, but that shit happened more than more than once.
I would have never thought about that. That makes a lot of sense because you usually have to worry about like, oh fuck, a chick just went in the dude's restroom or a guy just went in the women's restroom. But yeah, I guess at that point you really got to monitor like
They had
same-sex bathrooms.
all the
That's the temptation.
all the cabanas at the pool. The year before I got there had little curtains that they could close the cabana.
Mhm.
And this year they were like, yeah, we can't have that anymore.
no more
Well, that's
curtains.
nice.
Yeah.
They have not taken those away from me, man. I have to roll up and be like, knock, knock.
I'll wait.
And if I hear nothing, I'm like, I'll be back. And just keep on moving. If I hear something going on, because I'm not allowed to let that stuff go down. But I'm
Technically.
also with you for 8 hours in the day, and you supply me with a tip at the end of the day. So I'm like,
Your bathroom?
okay, I'll be back a little bit. No,
cabanas.
Oh, okay.
no, but the judgment I just felt during
Croissants?
No, 'cause
My
you
goodness.
make good money, right?
There's plenty of good bathroom attendants.
Right?
out
They
there.
make good money.
They can.
I would imagine that.
But you said you were a server, and I was like, yo, man,
Yeah.
you fucking touch a fecal matter?
Not, you keep that one stall really, really clean. That way, if someone wants to throw you the little bit of cash, then they can
They can
reserve that stall.
Take the out
that
of order
stall might
sign
be
off of it.
out of order.
Oh,
You know,
I
from-
see.
As we've learned from a podcast before, there was a guy who he was running a nightclub and he had a bathroom attendant who made
It was a single
insane
stall
money.
bathroom.
Yeah, there was one bathroom that was every now and again out of order, but
You
it
slipped
had to
him
be out of
100?
order. Yeah, just in case. You keep it
Oh.
out of order for a half an hour or so. You have just enough time to steal your deal, bring it on in, get it completely sealed, notarized, and then you can bring it on out.
$100. I mean, that's cheaper than prom.
I like way cheaper. No complaints. I like that for a second you were like, you're the dad from Deuce Bigelow?
Me?
Yeah, like when you thought he was a bathroom attendant. That's what the dad did in Deuce Bigelow.
Oh, I haven't seen that movie in forever. Male Gigolo?
Remember? Yeah.
Yeah, with the guy
When he
from
had
The
to
Mummy.
plunge when he had to plunge the toilet,
Rob
and then he
Schneider?
was like,
Rob
"Oh,
Schneider, Eddie Griffin?
you brought
Oh,
me."
Eddie Griffin. Was it Eddie Griffin in The
Yeah.
Mummy?
No. With Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser
No.
was in that?
In The Mummy?
Well, I know Brendan Fraser was in The Mummy. He was in Deuce Bigelow?
No,
Griffin was the new guy. You looking at my Janet?
the Arab guy. He's,
Yeah, yeah,
he's
with the
the
mayo.
gigolo, the Arab guy. He's the guy who gets it started.
The
Oh,
main dude.
Yeah, the
okay.
the evil guy in The Mummy.
Oh, from the Mashai or the what is it?
Yeah, the tribe people who like had to keep.
Yeah.
If
track
I told
of-
you I was a traveler coming from the east, I would say that kind of shit.
That's the second mummy.
That's still the first one.
No.
Yeah.
Oded Fett, that's his name. Oded.
Really?
Yeah, Oded.
I bet that dude's cool as fuck.
Oded
That's
Fair.
definitely the first mummy.
Where's
Right
When you
here.
ask
This
him
is,
about
this
his
is the
tattoo.
gigolo.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy from the Mummy, not
Got
Eddie
like a
Griffin.
gray beard now.
No, he's
Yeah,
was he in
old
the
as fuck
Gigolo? He
right
was
here,
the guy
yeah.
that
He's the
he stayed
Gigolo.
in his
he had
in
the fish
his
tank.
apartment.
He had the fish tank. Yeah.
That was
I didn't
European
even see the
Gigolo,
picture,
right?
but yeah.
No, that's the first
No,
one.
that's the
Yeah,
first
that's
one.
him. That's him.
I don't fuck.
When I saw him, I was like,
Where's
oh
the
shit, the
restroom
Mummy.
around here?
Oh, right down that way to the.
Yeah,
You can be filmed.
That's pretty cool. Yeah,
yeah, you're gonna be filmed.
do it to it.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
There's a nice odor eliminating candle in there, so you do what you never need to do.
Dude, I love putting my monitor on boxes to elevate it. I love it.
If
Not
you could see,
On Amazon boxes.
if you look just a little bit deeper, and you're not close enough to be able to see it, but there's Shrek 1 and Shrek 2.
I'm
Oh my
using to
God.
actually
Keeping it
angle
balanced.
up.
Oh my god, that's so funny. What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we-
you have the
The
lid.
DVD case.
You have the lid. You need to turn it on the side where it's more even.
I think there's just
That's where he done
there's
fucked
I
up.
don't know what the deal is, but it's caved in.
because it's on
it's
the lid.
Because it's on the lid. You need to put it on the side. You're gonna get more lumbar support.
All right, this was my thing. I set it up. I was like, fucking needs to be higher. And I put it higher, and I'm like, nah, it
He
needs
was
to be
all happy
angled.
because it was curved. He's like, it's like IMAX.
You're the duct tape mechanic. You're just like,
Hey,
ah,
man.
fucking just duct tape that
As
shit.
long
Paper
as it's
clip
in
and some
frame-
WD-40. That's all I
The-
need.
yeah, I don't know if you noticed. Look,
DIY
this,
lights, yeah, your softbox.
yeah, we're working on it. Softboxes are expensive. Okay?
Yeah, oh no, for sure.
He made an
Yeah.
awesome one out of cardboard with other. I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah,
where
it was-
that went.
Well,
put it away.
I bought
took that away.
some lights off Amazon, super cheap. They're
Uh-huh.
the umbrella, so it's just the coil LED bulb that just
right,
shoots into the
it
umbrella.
flames in. Yeah, it goes
Yeah.
into the umbrella and then bounces out.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
diffuses it. So I mean, that's just what that is. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
No,
what
I
that-
bought that. It's a newer diffusion blanket, basically. Like,
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's
It's not
what
a
that is.
T-shirt, so you're
No,
good. Yeah.
I was using
We
t-shirts.
we actually used pillowcases.
Yeah, it
Oh
was
my-
cut up
yeah,
pillowcase
there we
for
go.
earlier.
Pillowcases.
3,000 count, 3,000
Yeah.
parade count.
The webcam's actually on an IV pole.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I didn't realize what it was from. I'm like, I could use this motherfucker.
Where'd you get that from?
my
Nana.
wife's
R.I.P.
grandmother passed away.
Oh no, Nana!
Nana!
Hashtag never forget.
She was so sweet.
Dude, she was sweet to you guys. Apparently, she was like, there's two sides to every story. I liked her a lot. Nobody wanted to talk to her, and so I'd go in there, and she was telling me about how. So she was Jewish, and then she would tell me about how she would plant. They had a European map, and she said she would get correspondence from her uncle on where he was during World War II, and then they would basically do little pincushion pins on their march through Europe. I was like, that's cool as fuck. I'm like, I want to know. So I got really into World War II because we were like a cunt hair away from speaking German there for a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they were here. They were on our fucking shores, and we really weren't well defended back then. It was amazing that America, I mean, really, we're only really, I mean, as far as the country goes,
Like
we're newer,
We're
but
200 years old.
yeah,
We're babies,
we're super new to the
petulant babies screaming at everyone.
yeah, it's dude, the U.S. is cool. I like Vegas a lot because I feel like Vegas is, when they say melting pot, like they say that New York is a melting pot. Vegas is the melting
Oh
pot.
yeah.
People come here from all over the world to do everything.
Yeah.
Dealers, you look at the strip, no dealers are the fucking same.
Oh yeah.
You got a dealer from every part of the world, all dealing dice or whatever on the Vegas Strip. I think it's cool.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And going from Montana, where there's absolutely
Yeah.
zero, there's diversity. Yeah, there's zero diversity to Vegas, where it's just
homogenous as
100%.
fuck. Well, that's
Yeah.
why El Paso's great because we have that big military base, Fort Bliss, and then we're right on the Mexican border.
Yeah.
So like every classroom is predominantly Mexican and black, and then you have a few white kids in there. So like that's what I grew up in, and
But
then
what do you like about that?
about
Tell us how you like less white people.
less white people fucking shit up. Yeah, it's amazing.
Touche.
Fucking calling me an all-queefer. Yeah, it's fucking so good. And then I went to
That's so funny.
and then I went to
Aquifer.
yeah, all queefers. I was like, you fucking assholes. And then I went to Indiana, and I was just like, ugh. You have like one or two mixed
Nothing
black
but
kids,
white
and
people.
it's nothing but white corn-fed motherfuckers. I was like, ugh, I hate this shit. No wonder I got fired. Then I come here, like the classrooms are predominantly Mexican, black, and then there are a few white kids, and I'm just roasting everyone. So it's so great. I love it. Or they're half white and half Mexican. I've never met so many mixed race kids This fucking straight up
I
white.
think to his point that this is such a melting pot. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of everything from everywhere,
yeah.
and
You've got that
there's
wild card
nothing-
too, where you look ambiguous a little bit.
Oh,
where
yeah,
you're
yeah,
just
yeah.
like, oh, you think that's what I am?
Yeah.
And you don't even have to like justify anything.
Oh,
where you
no,
just be upset.
I can make shit up,
Oh.
and people are like, okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. So I start out my
Have
set.
you ever lied about?
No, but I should start though.
Yeah, why
I should
not?
start because a lot of people think I'm Vietnamese or Filipino, so I'll just be like, oh yeah, I'm half. And like, and what else? Half what? Half Korean. Wait, what? I'm like, and half black. What the fuck? I'm like,
half,
you
a half,
figure
a
it
half.
out, and then I just
You
disappear.
figure it out.
Just
But
Go
that's
fade.
not
buy, go buy
lying.
me some Yama sushi,
what it is.
bitch.
Mm.
I'm hungry.
Me too now. Love Yama Sushi.
Are they 24/7? Do they have gambling
No, I
machines at
think
the
they
bar?
shut- late night.
No,
No,
they shut
they
down
don't.
at 11, I think.
Oh damn, that's late.
Yeah.
Do you need a reservation?
No,
Just
they
walk?
don't. They don't accept reservations actually.
Oh, is it the
But they
sushi
have
on a
both.
boat, like the trough? No,
Mm-mm.
okay.
No, but they have
Are
both
there any
bar
of those
and table.
places in here? I've never seen one in Vegas.
A boat.
Yeah,
When I came 10 years ago to visit, there were, but I don't know about now.
I've never seen one.
Well,
I
the new
like
thing's
them.
like the
boat?
conveyor belt sushi thing.
The
Right.
conveyor belt.
Percent.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So
that's
it
what you were
just
talking about.
constantly rolls.
Yeah,
past-
but like sometimes they'll have like a moat of water, and then it's just on a boat that just keeps
Oh,
going.
that's
I
kinda
think that's
cool.
even cooler. I love
Yeah.
Where?
none that I've seen here.
I don't know. I guess not here.
Probably
they were in
Korea,
Europe.
But I no longer
From
I no
Korea.
longer stray from Yama, so I don't.
Oh, there
you
we
know.
go, yeah.
I've done Kaizen. He mentioned Kaizen before. I like it. That's a sushi fusion. I think is it Japanese
The
fusion,
fusion is
or
that
is
they
it
play
Korean
K-pop
fusion?
in the background.
So it's probably Korean.
But there's
fusion.
like
Japanese
there's
so
beer
they have
commercials.
dishes and sushi.
beer
like
commercials.
both.
Yeah,
they play all
They
sorts
do
of
a little
weird
bit of
shit,
both.
dude. They have
But
the weirdest
I
collection
can't remember
of
who
shit.
it was. There was like beer commercials, but it was like
Lawrence
for,
Fishburne.
for like Japanese or
Yeah.
beers.
Yeah, they
But it
just-
was like American actors
yeah.
that are I can't remember who it was, but I remember like it was that weird moment where I'm like,
What's that scene from Zoolander where he's like, "Koja Jinjua,"
Yeah.
and then he like jumps up?
Well,
and they
because
freeze frame
because
it?
for the longest time, Hollywood was compartmentalized from everything else, and so you couldn't do a watch commercial or a sitcom and still be an A-list celebrity.
Right.
So you had to go to Japan to do these obscure commercials that no one would
They'd
ever
get
see,
paid out the ass,
and they get
for it.
paid fucking bricks. And then so now with the internet, everyone has access to that.
it was Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, okay.
Ramsey. Fuck yeah! I love that guy. He's cool as fuck. though.
But it was like for shit. What's that shit beer? That it's like the
Ichiban?
it's like
Kirin,
no
Asahi,
Sapporo.
Kirin
Sapporo?
Ichiban. I got so fucked up
Shitty.
on Kirin Ichiban for a bit.
shittier.
It's
Oh
like
my.
the Bud Light of
They had a buy one get one on
Asian-
Those
Kirin
three.
Ichiban at Lee's Liquor, and I bought
Jeez.
2
I think it's
cases.
only
Buy
like
one
3 or
get
4
one.
letters is the name.
And then we went camping. That was awful.
Asahi, man.
No.
Asahi.
No,
Kirin.
not if it's hitting because those are the ones that I think of too.
Yeah, those are the
We got
three:
to-
Sapporo, Kirin, and
telling you,
Asahi.
So
Yeah.
talk about how Koreans like to drink. Japanese fucking go hard. So the Chinese, dude.
Yeah.
Have you ever
There's
had
one
fucking?
more. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, no,
No, you had it. Then I don't know the name of it. I
After
don't know
you,
the name of
sir.
it because
After
that's
you.
my father-in-law.
So
was saying they
Lawrence
had, like, the
Fishburne
one
was
beer.
in Pee Wee Herman, right? And no one knew it was Cowboy Bob.
Really?
We
I don't
didn't.
know. I'm just fucking.
Has he always had that lazy eye?
Did you know that?
No,
I
you're
didn't
thinking
know
about
that.
Forrest Whitaker. It's a
That's
different
Forrest
black guy.
Whitaker. Yeah, that's
You're right.
That's twice on this minute. You're not
Damn
doing very
it.
good.
We're talking about the Matrix.
Yeah, and he's in the new John Wick. I love that they're releasing the part 4s on the same day. John Wick 4 and Matrix 4 are
yeah,
getting
yeah.
released on the
Height?
same day. Height. That's Korean.
Is it cheap as shit?
Yeah,
H-I-G- Yeah.
OB, Height, and what is the other Korean one?
Yeah, I think I've
Max.
actually had a height
I think
because
it's
they had
Max.
the big one at Gen,
So there's-
Korean barbecue.
They're
Oh my
Kaizen down
God.
on
Eastern.
Eastern
Yep.
and Siena
Yep.
Heights are right around there.
right around where the that was
Pink Box Donuts
Gatanos
is.
is there? Yeah.
Chipotle and
Yep.
Buffalo Wild
Buffalo
Wings.
Wild Wings.
And
yeah.
a lot of old fucking
So
people.
we're sitting there, and I look up, and it's Gordon Ramsay drinking Height, being like, "Oh yeah, this is delicious," and I was like, "You are full of fucking shit! Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is one of the best chefs in like ever,
right.
but you're
Cass.
promoting that? Are you fucking kidding me?
You think that's one of those things where it's just like, you got the best bartenders in the world and they're drinking the shittiest beer.
Hey,
They're like, give me a
money's
Hams.
money, you know.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like a throwback thing too, where it's like, give me something that came. Well, not that he came from there, but like,
What's
where
it's
But this
Cass,
guy's like
height,
scaling
and OB.
mountains, like quote unquote scaling mountains to find like obscure, like crazy fucking ingredients and being like, oh yeah, the flavor of this.
Well, how do you think
This
he
is how
got
it
there?
hits.
Height
That's
paid
how-
for it.
Yeah, and well, this is how it hits, and this is how it
He had to
hits.
get to a certain
But then he
height.
takes a sip
I
of
was
height
gonna fucking.
and he describes
Nice.
the flavor
Nice.
profile of that shit, and I'm like, you fuck you, Gordon.
That's
Well, it's
so
funny too because like
Lying
Anthony Bourdain, like
motherfucker.
when in Rome, right? So Anthony Bourdain is in Vietnam and he's drinking their shitty Vietnamese beer or Filipino or whatever. Like, he's drinking their shitty beer, and it's just like it goes so well with whatever you're eating, and it's because you're in that culture, in that context. So like I would not drink height now. But in Korea, in front of a convenience store, on a plastic picnic chair at a table, oh my God, it's the best thing ever.
and it's it's one of those cool
like
things.
I'll
where
drink
it's an
Miller
experience,
Lite.
right?
I'll drink those Miller Lite, Bud Light. I'll drink them.
Nigga, you drink PBR.
Yeah,
You know the funny
I
thing?
will, but I
PBR.
won't. I won't drink it and endorse it and be like talk about.
Oh, really?
how
If they gave you $1 million, you wouldn't be like, oh, the subtle nuances of the tannins and then the blah, blah, blah.
If I was Gordon Ramsay, if
Yeah,
I
but
was a
yeah,
guy,
yeah, yeah,
well,
but
then
where-
he's,
you know what I'm
well, then
where's
he's
Gordon
getting 10
Ramsay?
million.
Yeah, where is it in Gordon Ramsay's career? Because Gordon Ramsay wasn't always the dude. He was just a dude for a long
Yeah.
time.
He's
for a
been
long-
the dude for a while.
He's been the dude for a
Yeah,
while.
but you catch him in the
that's a good
'90s.
point.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
bet he was like,
It's a-
you know what? I'll say whatever the fuck.
Well,
you
because
want.
he was a
Oh,
footballer.
yeah.
He was a footballer who got injured and then
That's soccer for us Americans.
Yeah, soccer, soccer. Yeah, he was a football player.
Did you just call it football?
Because he's Gordon Ramsay. I'm gonna talk about him in context.
Football.
Football. He was
For a second,
wait,
I
that
tried
seems
to
like
like
too
when you
much.
first said it, I tried to picture Gordon Ramsay with like
with
some
shoulder
pads.
pads.
shoulder pads and helmet on. I was
And a
like,
mask, maybe like
Well,
a
it's like-
really
it's like-
strong mustache.
Vinny Jones from Snatch.
yeah,
Yeah, he was also
I
a
fucking love that dude.
football player.
Gone
yeah.
in 60 seconds too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as the guy who doesn't say anything.
Yep,
and then
yep.
has that eloquent speech at the end.
Yeah, and he lights that fucking.
I
that-
fucking
that-
love that dude.
Yeah. Vinny Jones. He was a footballer as well. So
Now
A
was he
fucking
was
soccer
he a-
player,
I don't
dude.
think he was. Was he a soccer player or was he a rugby player? Because I feel like that
It's-
dude's a rugby
he
player.
seems more of a
Wasn't
rugby,
he in
rugby
Euro
player.
Trip?
Rugby.
I'll just go with it.
I
Rugby.
like it. Split the sack. Throw
Euro
the balls
trip?
right
I'm
back
not
in.
sure.
I feel like he was in Euro Trip. He was the dude that was like Manchester U or something like that. It was super. Oh, that was soccer, huh? Fuck
That
me.
was soccer,
I can't
yeah.
seem to
Manchester
get
U is
He
definitely
anything.
was, he was a midfielder.
And he was
a
in that for
footballer.
that,
He was a
yeah.
footballer for Wimbledon, Leeds United, Sheffield United, Chelsea.
So no,
Queen's
he was
Park
like a
Rangers,
real?
and
He was a
Wales.
legit.
Yeah, he was a legit
dude.
footballer. I'm telling you, and so is Gordon Ramsay. But he got injured, and then so he dove into depression, and then his saving grace was food, and so like he cooked his fucking way out
Did
of
you
depression.
read that he was actually depressed?
No, I just made that shit up. No, I watched a documentary where he talked about like his life, and then I just fucking added that shit. I don't know.
He got
I'm a
super
storyteller.
down, and then he took a taste of
No,
some
no,
delicious
because he
food
was
and
always
like,
passionate about
I can do
food.
this,
He
and
was
I can
passionate-
yell at
380
people.
pounds, and he said, "You
Yeah.
know what? I can make this my own."
No, he was always passionate about food, and then so he cooked, and then so I'm pretty sure height came at his lowest point in his career.
He's like, yeah,
So-
I need
Kind of
this.
ironic.
No one else is asking.
When they started doing Netflix where you could stream it, they had the original Hell's Kitchen where he would go in and do
On
all the
DVDs?
No.
Oh.
So like when they first started streaming. So
Oh,
as
yeah.
soon as they went from DVDs to streaming,
Yeah.
they had Hell's Kitchen when he did the
Or was it
European
Kitchen
version.
Nightmares?
Kitchen Nightmares.
Kitchen Nightmares, yeah.
And he would do all the European ones. So that was like when he was first doing it. And I remember they had some. It was like one of those Mediterranean, joints where he went in and they had I think it was like a beef skewer, but it was on one of those. You know when you get a pretzel and it's hanging off of like a little skewer, right?
Yeah, the little pretzel hanger thing.
Yeah.
It's like
So-
the same thing. No, but
Science.
it's like the
Give us
same
the
thing for like a
technical term.
banana. Like,
yeah.
thing of bananas,
It looked exactly like that, right? Instead of a pretzel, it was it was a skewer of meat, and it was swinging back and forth when they dropped it off. And I don't know if they did it for the film or they moved it, but he just like stares at it, and it's like coming right out of his face, and he's just like.
He's just high as
Dude,
fuck.
he was so mad. He goes back in there. He goes, "Who put the fucking donkey dick on the menu?" And then that's like my my accents are awful. But he goes back there. He's like fucking donkey dick swinging at me. And I was a huge Gordon Ramsay fan ever since that. He got mad
would
about
do
the
it.
donkey
That would
dick.
do it.
donkey dick.
And then I met him in real life, and he was like the nicest fucking person ever.
Have you? Do you watch Robert Irvine?
The big,
Re-
giant ass
Stacked ass
motherfucker.
motherfucker.
bald
He always
Yeah.
has a black T-shirt on.
yeah.
Isn't he dating like a wrestling chick? Like his girlfriend's like a wrestler.
Like a diva,
Yeah,
maybe.
he's yoked,
Yeah.
and he's like
It's funny to
stupid
hear about
yoked.
And it's so funny because it's like, we need to move this gigantic beam. We need 300 guys in here. And he's like, all right, I'll see you in the
got
morning.
me.
It's like, fuck you, Robert Irvine. You yoked motherfucker.
He's like, I'm just a host. I'm only being paid to be a host.
Dude,
It's
he's
funny.
got like veins on his neck that are fucking.
I wonder
popping
if you take the height and just put it in a chilled glass.
Height.
Yeah, that's
Gail Kim.
Is that what
that's
Dad
such a
said?
dad thing to say. Yeah, he was like,
Yeah,
if you
his-
put it, because he was a big fan of PBR. You know, he was like, if you like, he's like, you put it in a chilled glass. I mean, it's a really thing. He's like, it won the blue ribbon for a
Your
reason.
dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad tried to convince me that if you have like at the right time, like an ice, it needs to be
There's still
ice
nothing wrong
cold.
with PBR, but it was just funny his reasoning behind it. It was like, you get an ice cold chilled glass, you pour it in there, you can't even tell the difference.
He
Just
was
thinking,
trying
he
to-
goes, you know, it won the blue ribbon for a reason, boys.
How many years ago?
Back when it
well,
was worth
Like,
something.
what was its competition?
right.
Yeah, like who else is bragging about blue ribbons? No. Okay, so Robert Irvine is married to Gail Kim, who is a Canadian American professional wrestler, retired.
Yeah, yoked as
so-
well, right?
Yeah.
Well, I
guess.
mean,
she Asian as fuck, but
Asian yoked. She's short, but like yoked. I just remember seeing a picture of her, and she was like, I was like, fuck, dude. They're I get it.
Sex is weird.
You ever see that where you see two people and you're like, that's got to be awkward?
Yeah.
How does this go down? Like,
I
I,
saw-
want to be in that room when that shit happens.
I saw a chick come into my restaurant, and she was with a dude that was easily
kink shame.
a foot and a half taller than her. Easily a foot and a half
trying to
taller,
figure it
and
out.
easily had 100 pounds on her.
Yeah.
This motherfucker, he was a big dude, and she was tiny, and she was hella pregnant. And I was like, "That's a C-section. There's no way your pussy's getting destroyed. Like, there's
That
no way
baby's
you-
going to be
Yeah,
massive.
they're cutting your whole stomach out to bring that baby out.
That's like the fucking
Dude, he was huge. That guy was a
The-
big dude, and she was tiny. And
in
he just-
Aliens. It's like the chest burster. It's like
yeah,
destroys her
they're
hips.
they're cutting it out. of you.
Uterus
There's-
burster for
if-
sure.
If it comes out natural, you're dead.
It's the
Like, there's
juggernaut,
no way.
bitch. Vinnie Jones callback. There we
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
Yeah.
It's the juggernaut, bitch. Oh my god.
Do you ever see a fine ass chick and she's like constantly pregnant? You're like, smart move, playa.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Constantly? Jesus, no.
Yeah, every time you
but-
see her, she's like in some form of pregnancy. You're like, that dude knows what's up.
Yeah,
I've seen a hot girl.
Keeping her
You
around
seen a hot girl pregnant,
until she becomes unhot, and then
and you see the guy, and you go,
Just
"Good,
kidding,
good
baby, I
idea,
love you."
dude. Way to
Yeah.
go! Like I'd have done that. I'd have done that to her. Yeah,
It's like
I'd
that Chappelle
totally-
skit where he impregnates Oprah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha. He had one of the best lines where it was like, a guy, if he could get laid in a cardboard box, he didn't give a fuck. That's a nice car you got there. Gotcha, bitch. It's all a game.
Uh-oh.
You got pissed
time.
again?
Womp. Yeah, dude, you fucked me up.
You fucked me up.
The honesty came out.
Yeah. See, that's why you
Stepping
need to set up in front of the fireplace.
You're absolutely right. It's very close to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Just put a bucket
Do you-
around
what-
the
what do
corner
you-
in the
what-
kitchen.
Well, what do you do in there besides sit on that weird couch that faces the garage door?
Dude, my wife's responsible for all that shit. That's why there's like, there's a lot of just picture frames over there.
Yeah, and that's
my house.
like in addition to all the bottles, that'd be a perfect backdrop. Like
I think you're absolutely right. I can make
so
a
many
badass
textures. Yeah, so many textures, and then the lights bouncing off of everything, and
yeah,
then a
lighting
weird
would
couch,
be way easier over there.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
lighting, maneuvering.
What
You could
would
set
you
up
put
cameras.
in this corner though?
I know.
What would be over here?
I don't know.
Move
Like
that.
when he's not
move
doing
that weird
this,
couch
I
over
think
here.
This looks amazing when you come
That
into the
weird
house.
move that weird couch.
She got a couch because she's like, I'm gonna read books, and then she put that
Oh my
couch
God.
over there. And then she read like a half of a book over there.
I feel
That
like
was
3
it.
pages, and she was like, "Fuck this couch."
Yeah, I got dogs too, so they hang out on the couch
Oh,
now.
okay, yeah, yeah.
And then it's just covered in hair. So I mean, if you
Are
want
they
some hair
outside?
on you, No, I I bring them to my parents live down the street from here.
Oh
So
my god,
I'm 31 years old. I got no kids. I'm just like, hey, watch my dogs.
dude! When do you start banging them out?
No, nothing right now.
Good,
So he's
good.
about to. Yeah,
Good.
thanks, bro.
No, get them out, man.
He's about to have his first kid. So
Where's
this
your
is-
kids?
We're gonna start when we go back to Indiana.
For real?
Yeah,
Don't do it.
dude. I want a fucking little. I want a girl because I know how dumb and disgusting boys are.
Yeah. Why? So.
And then my girlfriend,
Make one.
my
that
girl,
way you don't have to protect someone from all of them.
and then my girlfriend wants a boy, and I'm like, no, we're so dumb. And then like one of the,
Yeah.
and we work at the same school, so a boy showed something on his phone and was like, hey, look at this, and she grabbed the phone and was like, you have no idea how much cum you just touched.
Yeah.
Boys are
It's
disgusting.
dirty.
Do not ever touch a boy's phone. It's the grossest thing
Girls
ever.
aren't the cleanest thing.
They're
ever.
not, but at least I'm not a girl, so I don't know how disgusting they can be.
My dad's always put this in one expression. He said, if you have a boy, you got to worry about one dick.
Yeah.
If you have a girl, you got to worry about all the dicks.
Yeah. But girls have so much power and they're so ruthless.
I thought you were gonna say if you can't eat it, don't fuck it.
Oh shit. Damn, niggas.
That's what happened.
He
on
might
that-
have said that too.
That's what my dad instilled in me.
If you can't eat it, don't fuck it.
Yeah,
Jesus.
That's what happened on that rooftop.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's some solid advice, I think.
Yeah, I
There's
didn't
too
know
much
what was going-
terrain. I'm getting motion sickness.
These
You
two
go down and
fingers
do
went
that
on a hike.
figure eight. yeah.
Giggity, giggity.
Get the hell out of there.
What's in that fucking barrel, that glass barrel?
That
It's a
is
ship.
It's Jefferson's aged at sea, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jefferson's is dope.
This was a
And
this
it's
was
like
a
price point
Christmas
is
present
super solid.
from me to him.
And they were the ones that actually like started. So they put the barrels in a ship, and
I'm glad
the
you know
whole
about it.
yeah,
That's so
because
cool.
the whole point was the
Oh,
rock-
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The rocking
impressed.
Do you want to
makes
try
it-
it? Yeah.
makes it makes the wood affect the
you wanna try
the
it?
whiskey there. Absolutely.
Keep that keep my baby cube in there. Keep my baby cube
just a
in
little
there.
guy.
Little baby cube. Okay, so I had that in Terre Haute, Indiana, and it was the most amazing thing ever. So I'm glad that we get to. Oh, that's good right there. That's good right there. Yeah.
That's fucking
Yeah, let me go
awesome.
grab I'll be right back.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. We got this bartender actually working. Not like the bartender on my show. Fuck that lazy
I
motherfucker.
bust my ass.
Hey, he's got a badass fucking like apron.
Yeah,
that he
the
wears
welding
that are
apron.
nice. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, he's on forged on fire.
Everyone says that. It barely fits me.
Well, it looks great.
Thank you.
Ooh, that's so good.
This is someone brought over it was actually Richard Humphrey.
Oh yeah.
We were hanging out one night and brought over not this bottle, but a bottle of Jefferson's. and I
Not
was-
this exact bottle that's sitting in your.
Not the
living
ocean,
room?
not the ocean aged at sea.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
Richard, he came by, he borrowed it for a little bit. Yeah.
But I was like, "What is this?" And I tasted it, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is great!" And he goes, "I got it at Target."
I got it at Target.
And I
Was
like,
that just a Ricky Bobby throwback?
Solly?
Maybe?
No, it's exactly
Got it
what
at
he said.
Target.
It's
on
great. I got it. It
sale.
was on sale. Got it at Target. I want
Yeah.
to try.
I'm gonna have to leave my truck here.
I want to try. Yeah, right.
okay. You can just give me a
We're
little
both gonna have
shower.
to Uber. Yeah, we
You
got
can
some.
I
Sort of
figured
one,
you guys
right? Why
had
not?
shows tonight. You got anywhere to be tonight? Where you gonna do
No,
it
I haven't
nice?
done comedy in a minute. I did. Okay, so I did the
Really?
Hilarious 7 after like 2 months of not being on stage, and I was so nervous that I was gonna fuck up, and I fucking rocked that shit. It was so fun. It was so
my
good.
new move is to what's it called? Not give a fuck.
Okay, but okay,
It's
What's it
helps-
called?
okay,
It's a good one.
It's-
But-
it helps so much.
but-
God damn, that's delicious.
Not bad.
but-
It's got a little iodine on it.
but okay, so I
Spit it out.
even though I had taken 2 months
okay,
off the stage. Okay, but
Okay.
so even though I had taken 2 months from not being on stage, I felt so fresh and like the passion was reinvigorated. And then I was just coming up with all these different jokes on stale old shit that I had done from before. And I was just like, oh, I can never give this up. And then today I was like, yeah, I'm going to give that shit up. I was like, I
On
just
your way
wanna-
over here?
I was like, I just want to make podcasts and make money. Okay, so like, how would you classify yourself politically? Liberals, conservatives, center?
I just
Center left?
Zero
just
political
got
involvement
weird.
or anything.
Okay, so not
my
even
kind of people.
I'd
not
say
even politically.
bipartisan with the
Just in your life, are you more conservative? Are you more liberal?
Liberal.
Okay, a little bit
For
more
sure.
liberal.
Vegas, bro.
I suppose.
Yeah.
24/7.
All right, well then I can't ask.
I got a
you.
bar in my living room.
You can ask
Yeah.
anything.
I'm
though.
curious
I
about
think,
the
I think
question.
Why?
we're
Yeah. Say what.
Okay,
say
so
more
my
like
my idea.
bipartisan with the
Yeah, liberal just
betterment
means
of
I'm
America
open, is what I mean.
on the top list.
Are you like pro Bernie? Are you like?
I like Bernie.
Oh,
I
okay.
caucus for Bernie in
Are you not a fan of Bernie?
2016.
Damn,
Or-
my
yeah.
caucus for my girlfriend. You can.
Her and I had a big
God.
talk the other day, and
My girlfriend, fuck you, nigga.
yeah,
Damn.
she's got a lot of complaints.
You
lot
need
of
to
complaints.
back up. Back up. Okay, but
Okay, but
Question.
all
But
right.
what?
So I'm starting. I want to start like a T-shirt line, but it's for
which you've already started.
but it's for Christian conservative Christian Republicans.
Okay.
I'm not obviously going to be the face of it because I'm liberal as fuck. I'm
He's gonna
like
That'd be a bad
center
business
liberal.
be the
move.
face of it.
Okay, so it's like a ghostwriter.
Did you think that we were like MAGA hat wearing
Dude,
guys?
no, not MAGA, but I thought you were military, so I was like, okay,
Ah, okay,
yeah,
okay.
okay, right. So it's like Jesus, it's military, it's like pro-Trump, it's like all this stuff, and I'm putting out all these memes.
like a big apostrophe America.
It's almost like I'm trolling them, but I'm not because I'm giving them these quality shirts that they can wear.
Where are they
But
made?
I make them.
in the
I
gu-
designed
in the
them,
good
I
old
make-
Where
USA,
do you get the
right?
material?
In the US of A.
From
Is it
Canada.
Oh shit! No,
Because
that's where you're gonna lose half.
Gildan
of them.
is a Canadian company.
Yeah, but are they manufactured in Canada?
Just say
No,
North
they're
A-
manufactured in
just
my
say
living room.
North American company, and you got 'em.
manufactured in China.
No,
You got 'em.
literally, I'm. Oh no, I don't know where like.
The actual
I
cloth
don't know where
comes
the
from?
knit. I don't know how these shirts
If
are
it's
knitted.
Gildan
I'm
or
just
Can-
saying,
I'm
I
saying
get the shirt.
just North
I
American,
print
you're
out the
good.
vinyl and I press it onto the shirt,
Okay.
and then I'm going to sell it to them.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay.
But
Okay.
That you're in the wrong spot. Like Vegas is not.
no, I'm selling to all over the U.S. Like I'm doing
Online
doing, I'm
business?
doing
Yeah.
Facebook and
Yeah.
I'm selling it all to
So
everyone.
wait, this is a 100% real thing. that you're doing?
Yes. So is it?
I thought
fu-
this was like a jokish.
No,
like-
okay, so it does, so it's fucked up then, right? It's fucked up that I want
What's
to
more
like.
No,
funny
that you wanna
than
profit
fucked
off of
up,
it?
right?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Look
No,
at how many
that's
people
the
profit
American
off
way.
of military. Yeah.
Did you
military
say Lil
induction-
Wayne?
I said that's
Mil-
the American way. Boy, you
Oh.
are not hearing me the way I thought you would be hearing me.
I
Is
was
this
like-
thing on?
I was like, scissor. What are we selling? What is going on? No, okay, because I've been getting some backlash, and like in my mind, it's like, okay, I get it that I'm like interacting with these people on Facebook, like, yeah, they're ruining our country. Also, fucking buy the shirt, right? But I don't know. I feel like a dick talking about it.
Taking advantage of an opportunity.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck.
There's
Dude.
nothing
Do
wrong
whatever
Yeah,
you want
right.
that
Like
makes
if you
money.
want to wing nut,
Hey, you
I'm
want to
gonna
sell
start
some pussy?
manufacturing
I'm like,
wing nuts.
wing nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never heard of wingnuts, guy?
What did you?
People listening to
What
this are
did
gonna
you
be
hear?
like, they are hella drunk. Yes. Okay, so but it's like it's a dick.
We've
move,
been
right?
hammered on this podcast
It's like-
before. This is definitely
Oh,
not
this is
one of
not
them.
even that. Okay,
Dude,
but it's
we
like
didn't
hella
release one that I came out. I was tired.
Yeah, we had one where this dude was cool as fuck too, and I feel so bad, but Chase was
Me
just
too. Well, we
fucking
also
blitzed.
happened to live. We lost. We got about 16 minutes in, and then our recording system failed for about 45 minutes, and then we figured it out. We're like, oh shit, and then
No.
got back into it.
I've totally done that.
Well,
I've
that-
done that. What do you guys record on?
We do
GarageBand?
GarageBand right now. Yeah.
Just like straight into the computer.
Mm-hmm. These are all. So we do 4
That's where you're
USB
fucking
mics.
up right now.
Yeah, we should run it into a.
A
Well, it
Zoom.
would have.
A Zoom.
Yeah, but we're talking like an H6 gonna run us $350, bro. We're trying to do it on the cheap.
It's just us, man.
Look at the
Oh, I
cloth
forgot.
on the
I got-
fucking
I feel you.
lights.
I feel you. I was there. I was there.
How am I gonna afford all this booze if I gotta fucking
Yeah.
pay for?
Well, and so that's why for me it's
It
like
works. It
changes
works pretty well
everything.
most of the time. Every now and
Does it?
again, little glitches come up. But
Well, I used to do the same thing.
yeah.
We had one. I can't remember, a Scarlet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we run a Scarlett 2i2 out of our
We
studio
need
that
Yep.
we do.
4 of those. So.
Yeah. So I had one, but it took 4 input. Like I can't remember what it was, but
Yeah, the
Uh,
next level up.
and it was so many times we'd be great conversation, and I look over and go, I don't know how long we haven't been recording, but it's been a minute.
okay.
And so the H6 changed everything.
So there will be sometimes like you don't notice too terribly, but there will be sometimes where Tyler will go on this long rant,
I get mad.
just talking, and I'll look over and the camera hasn't been recording, and I'll just click it record. I was like, well, I guess that's not
get
going in
right
the
back
episode.
I
in.
record.
do
I
it.
notice that every time.
What do you use to record?
So I use, because for me the guest is the most important.
Right.
So I have the 2 cameras that don't
Fucking
need
asshole.
that resetting.
The 30-minute limit.
I'm a person.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So it's the 2 camcorders go on the guest. I sit next to the DSLR that has a 30-minute time recording limit, and I have to keep restarting it for Tyler. But then I fucking got tired of it because I kept losing all these great moments of him shitting on Nick Cannon and John Taffer. So I just bought another
Fuck
one.
John Taffer.
That's
Right.
funny. Yeah, we had listened to
Do
that.
you know
I
that
listened to that
moment?
one too. Yeah, I listened to that
when they
one.
were like, "Hey, my husband complains about how I make Manhattans. You teach me how to make a
Oh
Manhattan."
my God, he just crashed another podcast to shit on John Taffer.
He was on. Fuck you.
If you listen to a couple of podcasts ago, we actually have somebody who's a
Who was part of their
he's a bar
team?
rescue
Oh,
bartender.
Shit. Oh,
He's
shit.
one of the mixologists. Come on, it was Dan.
And does he shit on John
to-
Taffer also?
No, he
called
doesn't
him.
shit on-
What do you call him? He called him old something lips.
Cunt face.
Definitely
Uh,
had like a
old
lot of
pussy
love
lips.
for him, but at
Oh,
the same
okay.
time, like I
Pussy
would
lips, but it
not
was
have love
something
for him
lips.
if he was. in
If
front
you
of me.
worked for him, fuck yeah.
Fish lips or something. I can't remember what he called them, but he called them something like that.
But yeah, he's on some talk show. I don't know
I
what
gotta
it
find
was.
this video.
And he was like, "Yeah, I'll show you." So they like get up out of their chairs and they walk over to this whole setup, like a TV show does. And he starts muddling a cherry and sugar together.
What?
And I was like,
Make it old fashioned.
"Yeah." I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
It's a new take on an old fashioned.
And he was like, "Yeah," and that's how. And no one corrected him.
What?
And then it blew up. It was like John Taffer doesn't know the difference between a Manhattan and an old fashioned.
And that's where I
fuck this guy. And there was a moment also where I had, Jeremy Flores.
Yeah.
Jeremy Flores. They did a bar rescue on a bar at it was like Trop and Pecos, the double shots or hot shots or whatever that was there. I think it was hot shots, and they did a bar rescue and changed it to double shots. Amazing change. And when they were done, his girlfriend was like, "Hey, can we get a picture?" And he said no. And so Jeremy pushed his girlfriend into John Taffer. John Taffer turned around, and Jeremy was right there to go click, and he go, "Bam, you got a picture." Fuck John Taffer. And I was like, hell yeah, that
Oh, he
was
seems like a
amazing.
douche, dude. He comes in and he never has. So there's like, so there's John Tafford, who just seems like 100% douche all the time. And then when things work out, he's like, "Yeah, I told you, motherfucker." Then you got Gordon Ramsay, who like genuinely seems like interested in making like, "Oh, you got donkey dick on the menu?" He's like, "Let's get it off. Let's take that donkey dick and make it like a nice, presentable."
You're Australian as fuck.
See, he's awful with
Yeah,
accents.
you're
yeah.
Australian
Is Gordon
I'm no
accent.
better,
Is
but he
Gordon
always
Ramsay
doesn't.
Australian?
You know, he's
No, he's
London
from
as fuck.
Scottish.
Pretty
Yeah.
sure he's pretty sure he's Scottish, but he
I
grew up
think
in
he's from Scotland.
He might be from there, but his accent
Yeah,
is
he's
London
British.
as fuck.
Yeah.
But what I was trying to get to, as far as like terrible accent,
You
out
know
of the
who
way.
you sound like? You
Shrimp
sound
on
like
the ball.
Waiko. Who's the guy? Taika Waititi, the guy who
I
who
love that
directed
dude.
For New Zealand?
Grog.
That's New
You sound like
Zealand.
Gorg.
Oh yeah,
That's
Hammond pulled you
New
off.
Zealand.
Huh? Yeah, you're right.
New Zealand.
We're gonna start a revolution.
He is from New Zealand. Yeah. Okay, he's from New Zealand.
You son
Learn your
of a
accents.
bitch.
Forrest Whitaker, my ass. Okay.
He's a Kiwi.
You know Lawrence
okay?
Fishburne. Lawrence Fishburne's from New Zealand.
Lawrence Fishburne with the lazy eye, right?
Yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah,
my
Scott. I guess he was born in Scotland but raised in Stratford upon Avon.
Yeah.
So he's got some Shakespearean
Wherever
roots.
that is, yeah.
Ooh.
That's where Shakespeare's from. Stratford
Okay.
upon Avon.
The difference that I was
I'm a
So-
teacher, so you know.
That
That's-
being
so believe me.
the UK, that being I guess the UK is a whole.
Oh, no,
lot of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
So
it's
that being
England.
England. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
fantastic. We love you, Ramsey. He's doing it. He's making a killing here in Vegas right now.
Oh yeah, he's got like 3, if not 4 restaurants. It's
Even he's got a
fucking
little guy. He's got the fish and chips. He's got steak. He's got the pub.
I thought you
He's
just
doing
keep naming
great.
food.
These are
He's
are
got
his.
fish and chips. He's got steak.
Those are
He's
his
got
restaurants.
pickles.
He's got Gordon's fish and chips.
He's got
Gordon
burgers.
steaks.
He does have a burger
He's got
joint.
steak is at Paris. Fish
Doesn't
and
he
chip
have
is on the Link Promenade.
the burger one is
Is
at
the
Planet
pub
Hollywood.
one? That's
yeah,
the pub.
he does got a burger
One.
joint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, shit.
BRGR or something like that. It's burger. Like it's easy as fuck. But he also has what was the name of his show?
Kitchen
Hell's Kitchen?
Nightmares, Hell's
Oh,
Kitchen.
yeah,
He's
Hell's
got a Hell's
Kitchen.
Kitchen. They took over
Hell's Kitchen, yeah.
Serendipity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Serendipity
Kitchen.
3 or whatever.
I've been there.
They
It
took
was
it over.
solid. It was
good.
super solid.
I know a bartender from there. He does
was-
fantastic there. His name is Nick. That dude is a fucking hard ass from Croatia. He does the day club at the hotel that I work at, and this dude is a no nonsense kind of motherfucker, man. He comes in even as fast paced as that is, like he has very high standards, which is great because I kind of have the same. And then you get those shit ass fucking 21-year-olds that just turned 21 that want to be able to come in and try to make some money. Running food or doing these drinks because we have to do a lot of the back work. You got to make the batches for all the cocktails. You got to get everything kind of set. And he is, I know, I really appreciated him, and I think he really appreciated me there in this last season because I did the date club all the way up until I started hosting again. And he was awesome, and he works for Hell's Kitchen, and he's a fantastic bartender. So if you're at Hell's Kitchen, you see Nick.
Master
he's the man.
Chef.
He's a master bartender. He's really, really good.
I don't know what his name was.
Master
This
Chef.
guy came by and was like you had a waiter, and then you had someone come by and ask about drinks.
Sommelier.
No,
Possibly.
wasn't wine.
Oh.
But he was like you, and then he was like, "Do you like whiskey?" And I was like, "Yeah, I like whiskey." And he's like, "I got you," and then just walked off. And I was like, "There's so many other questions past just whiskey."
No.
Oh, you like whiskey? Cool.
Cool, I
Like,
got
it was
you.
just more of like one of those questions that was like a no
And so
answer,
he
like
came back
rhetorical.
Great.
and
Enjoy
had-
your meal.
He had a glass box, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like he just walked, and I didn't know. All my friends were like, "Ooh," like all excited, and I was like, "I don't know what the fuck's going on." And all of a sudden, behind me is a guy with a glass box, and it's full of smoke, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And he opened it, and it just smoke billowed out of it, and then boom, to the front of the box, my glass slid, and it was this amazing smoked, like a Boulevardier or something.
I
like
could do that here.
Do you have a like?
I have a smoker.
Do
You
you
got a
really?
glass box?
I have
We've
a.
done that.
You don't.
Yeah,
cocktail, I
you
think,
don't need a
actually.
box.
I had a. I actually did a drink here at this little bar right here, and my buddy that came over, I made him a drink. I smoked it, and then I gave it to him, and he must have done like a some sort of Instagram or something like that where he put on his stories, and it has the smoked drink coming his way. And then I went to work, and somebody comes and they were like, "Hey, where else do you work at?" Like, I don't. This is it. This is my own job right now. They're like, "No, I saw that somebody else was at your bar, and you gave them a smoked drink." I'm like, "Yeah, that was in my house." And they're like, "No, that was like a bar. Like they were at a restaurant."
Were
I
they
was like,
trying to get you in trouble?
No, they weren't trying to get me in trouble. They just didn't believe me.
Yeah.
Like, I was just
That
making
was
shit
my
up.
house
It's
bar.
like, hey, look at the blinds in the background, bro.
Yeah, they could only see this part. It was like just this
oh,
area.
I see.
So the angle must have been great.
Yeah.
But I was just like, no. And I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, it does look, I mean, it is technically a professional drink.
Yeah.
But no, I wasn't working. I was like, that was my house.
Show more pictures of the podcast and everything, and they're like,
This was well put like pre-podcast.
oh shit.
Yeah, way
How long have you
before.
had this bar?
The bar I built first thing when we bought the house.
Yeah.
We bought the house, we built the bar, and that was literally the first thing I did. We threw a
2015.
fuck. When was it? Was it a Halloween
Jesus,
party?
5 years ago.
We threw a Halloween. Yeah. It was 5 years ago. We threw a Halloween party. We had titties out
Still
in the
nice and
background.
sturdy.
Yeah.
Tyler's like, dude, what the fuck? And I'm like,
Solid
dude,
construction.
You could kick it. We actually had like
Are
3
you
people.
Dwight from The Office?
I am. I am. Mega desk.
How much?
I need more mega desk.
What's the square footage of this place?
Yeah.
Be respectful. All right. How much did you pay for it?
I farted in this room.
We could turn the fan back on. I mean, like if you did.
Oh no, I didn't fart.
I've got like 6 cans.
But I did have
going.
bubble
You're good.
guts. So I was like, I dropped my girlfriend off, and I was like, I got bubble guts.
That's why I was late.
And I was like, fuck it, we'll see
Like,
what
I
happens.
was like, all right, guys, I gotta go. And then I was like, hold on.
Gotta take a big shit.
And I turn around yeah.
I got
The
3
girl's like-
bathrooms, so I just used the one that you guys wouldn't be using. So.
Oh shit.
yeah, that's out of
That's
courtesy. You know?
respectful. That's
Yeah.
respectful.
Where is your wife at?
She's at work.
She's working.
Oh shit. Where does she work?
She works at the.
Quit trying to, come on, man. Don't try and stalk.
Where does she work, bro?
Yeah, where does
Front
April
desk
work?
At,
So her name's April, huh?
That-
starts with an A at least. Huh?
yeah. I'll just tell you after the podcast, just because she still works there. Like I don't want to out her.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought it was
Yeah.
like on the strip. Like,
She does work.
oh,
on the
okay.
strip.
Then that's
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Yeah. Okay.
So
She's not a teacher.
anything
Yeah.
that comes to mind for you guys that really seemed like it was like out of place, so whether it was bartending, whether it was teaching, where you're like, I can't believe this is fucking happening. Like some of
Last
the-
minute diamond stories you got there.
Yeah.
I was ready to stab a guy.
Wow. Yeah, this seems like the
Sounds like
that's the setup we wanted.
I was ready to, like, I was working where I work, and these guys just coming through the door, like 6, 7 of them at a time, couple girls, and they're just wooing as they come in. It's close to the end of the night. You know, it's close to the end of the night. We're getting ready to close up like within the next hour, and I instantly was like, "Fuck,
Bad news.
these guys! Like, this is not going to go well." And we don't do your average cocktails. We don't have Red Bull. You know, we don't have Blue Carousel. Like, we don't have that shit.
No MMFs, huh?
Right. And guy came up and he's like, I need an adios. And I was like, man, I can do you a Long Island, you know, and it'll be, I'll tell you right now, it'll be one of the best Long
Same
Islands
fucking
From
you've
scratch.
ever fucking had. But I can't do that. And he was like, oh, come on. And I was like, I can't. I don't have, like, I make you anything else. And I started making Long Island, you know, and they all of a sudden there's arguments going all over the place, and he's trying to, and then he was like, I just need an adios. And I was like,
Where's this guy from?
I don't know.
Perump.
And I was like, I'm like, here, let me make this. And I got you. And then I looked at him and I was like, these guys are hammered.
Yeah.
And I walked over to the guy in charge and I was like, hey man, like, I'm not even going to serve these guys. They're already hammered. I'm just letting you know right now, I'm not going to serve them. And so they went through the line. I mean, you know how it all works
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Taco.
It gets fucking long.
It's a little bit of a
Especially
pain in
if
the
you
ass.
want the fucking
that
pork.
So that al pastor.
Al pastor.
And so
Fucking love
they,
pork.
they get through that. They get their food, and then they try to order drinks through the register. And I was like,
Try to adios again.
yeah. And I was like, dude, I don't have it. And he was like, dude, just make me a fucking audio. Like, he just loses it. And I'd already had problems. And at the time, two
Did
of the
you
girls.
explain to him that it's the same thing? It's just not blue.
Yeah, I had two girls sitting at the bar next to who's now my fiance and a friend, and the girls are starting to argue. And he's like, "Just make me!" And I had a knife in my hand, and I go, "Look, homie,
Just do it,
I don't
funny
have
man.
I go, "I don't have the ingredients for your pussy fucking drink," because I was just done with him.
Hell yeah.
And he was like, just, and he just like yelled some shit. And then his friend came over and threw his arm over him. And he was like, hey, man, you need to calm down. And he's
good.
trying to calm him down. And there's two other dudes around him. So it's like kind of this weird little powwow. And he's got his arm around his neck. Like, and they're trying, it looked sincere. And then all of a sudden, that left hand just started to come up to his face. His friend just started punching him in the face. And then, like a fucking cartoon, it turned into this weird little
Brawl?
like dust devil, and then just went right out the door. Like, just they were gone.
They paid for their food though, right?
I don't care. But I was like, what the fuck just happened? And while it was all going on, there was talk of calling the cops because they were drunk and
Right.
being a pain in the ass. And I guess somebody behind the bar, someone who worked there, had already called the cops. So they
It's
ru-
Henderson, so there's probably 10, like,
Yeah,
block away.
at
just-
least 3
just
or 4.
Jesus, yeah.
waiting for anything
Ready
not
to roll
white
up.
to cause a problem. And they're outside and they're fighting, and all of a sudden you see red and blue just start flashing in the windows. And I was like, yes,
Did
we
you go
just
watch
got
this?
him.
Thank
So-
God I didn't stab this guy.
The guy in charge that I had been like, hey, yeah, right? I was holding it, waiting. But the guy that I told originally, I was like, hey, I'm not serving these guys. He came over to me and he was like, hey, cops are outside. We should probably go talk to them. And I was like, okay. So we go outside, and the cop's like, what happened? And I'm like, this is what went down. These guys came in drunk, blah, 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 blah. And then you could hear cuffs clasp on the other side of the cop car. And I was like, oh, it feels so good.
Yeah.
God damn, this feels good. And then they just
You know,
were gone. And I was
and then
like,
and as soon
this
as he
was
gets put in the
awesome.
car, you go adios.
Oh,
Yeah.
He said, "I found that blue carousel. You still interested in audio?"
The funny thing is, we had it the whole time, and I didn't know. It was back in the walk-in because we don't make drinks like that. I don't want to make drinks like that. Like we want to make.
Do you tell that on
love
stage?
it.
No, I don't.
You need to tell it on stage.
That's right, yeah, you can
Adios,
work
and
that
you
out.
walk back in. And
Charlie
there-
Stone, comedian Charlie Stone, was there.
I don't
Him
know.
and his girl, and after it happened, like, cause I'm not a guy that says the word homie. You know, like I'm not that-
homie.
He just
was
had
a
the
word
knife
of-
in hand, and it just came out.
It was
Look,
a word
homie.
of passion, okay? I was worked up. I didn't mean it.
So we're sitting there afterwards.
You
and
wanted
he
an
goes,
adios.
he just starts laughing, and I looked at him, and he goes, "You said homie." I was like, yeah, I'm not that guy. I know I'm not that
That's
guy.
so funny. I think it was last episode I said act a fool, and he looked at me and like laughed so hard. Like
In school, I will tell the kids, you better act right before you get smacked right. And I laugh every time. It fucking kills me.
You say that to your students?
Yeah, and
act
I
right before you
die
get smacked
laughing.
right. That's so great.
Yeah.
Dude, it takes a lot when you're behind the bar to get to the push to that point. I had one time where this guy, like, there was a whole group of them, and they were being assholes, and so I was just kind of ignoring them because I was so slammed that time, and I had a small bar. I was behind.
hammered drunk. I just couldn't.
Behind the bar.
I thought it's kind of where it was like I wanted to say it, but I wasn't drunk. I was just fucking slammed. I had so many people in front of me, and these people were being assholes and like, hey, excuse me, hey. I'm like, I'll be right with you guys. I'm working on like 10 things. I'm like, I'll be there. I know there's like 20 of you. There was a fuckload of them. So I had just opened up a champagne for a guest that was in front of me, and this guy comes behind my bar at New York. He comes behind my bar and like gets up and like pretends to be a bartender. Like, hey, what can I get you? Hey, what can I get you? And I didn't realize what was going on, but I was just like,
British.
Yeah. Gordon
Hello,
Ramsay came to
hello,
your bar?
hello, what
Was
can I
that
get
Gordon
you?
Ramsay?
Hello.
Holy shit. Bar
was-
rescue.
it was behind the bar, and I thought it was my bar back at first. So I'm like, cool, I finally got some fucking help. I'm getting crushed over here. And I realized that it wasn't my bar back. I'm like, who the fuck are you? And I was just like, rage took over, and I had my the top from the champagne, and I pegged this motherfucker so hard with it. I was just like, who the fuck? And then just like instant rage, and I was just like, fuck you. I
Yeah.
took that and I smacked it. Dude, I was probably maybe 10 feet from him. I pegged him so hard in the back. I threw it like, dude, like fucking 90-mile-an-hour slider right into his back. And I saw him wince. As soon as it hit him, he was just like, "Ee!" And I was like, get the fuck out of my bar.
Yeah.
And I went over there and I was like, oh, you stupid fucks, get out of here. And I was just so mad. I was just raged. I was like, bring it on, you piece of shit. I was ready to fight every single one of them. And I couldn't, like, there's that line where it's just
Yeah.
like, I'm cool till I'm not cool. And at that point, I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
And
I
they
was like-
left?
yeah, they left. And then, well, you know what's really funny is like, I was screaming at them and I was like, that was the only time that I've
Yeah.
ever been like that at work. Because I'm like, I'm at work. I'm getting paid to be here. I'm trying to be cool. Like, I'm in that work zone, the work
Yeah,
vibe.
You want
I
to give them a
had-
good time?
yeah, like everybody's here, but it was it was probably a Knights game, so everybody it was just slammed,
Oh, shit.
fucking slammed. And this group just happened to wander into my bar when I was super busy, and they thought it would be cool to fuck with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, not
can't-
today, motherfucker.
I can't do the proper service person
Uh huh.
all the time.
Yeah.
Like not even like 75% of the time I can't do it.
And most
like
of the time
I'm
you
just
don't
not
need
that
to.
bartender.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
just not. And like I'm starting to realize that. Like I mean working on the strip, I've had moments where you get hit with conventions. There's one convention that's like all safari people. And so it's like a bunch of Australians and like all this different. And I came on to work graveyard, and there was the bartender that was finishing up his swing shift was like, "Hey, close out these tabs for me." And I'm like, "All right." So I'm at the register just closing stuff out, and I hear somebody going,
Like snap, like they want to drink now.
"Yeah," like, "Hey."
Oh, like up in your face.
Well, I mean, it was to the side, but he was still snapping at me, and I went, "Nope, fuck you!" Like it just came out. I just like that doesn't work for me. I'm not
Right.
gonna respect
Did
you.
he stop?
Yeah.
Oh.
I go, "Nope, fuck you," and he
Not
just
a
walked
fucking
away.
dog.
I was like, I
Yeah.
can't.
It's nice when they walk away when you
can't
don't have
do
to
it.
explain
Like-
yourself to HR.
Yeah.
Like I'm so lucky that guy didn't go to security because I pegged the fuck out of him.
Yeah, but it's also it's a
He
health
shouldn't
and
have gone
safety
behind
thing.
her bar.
Like you go.
Well, yeah,
behind-
obviously, you can't be back. You're not allowed back here. But I should, like, I
You shouldn't have pegged
overreacted
him.
like a motherfucker, dude. I know that I hit him so hard.
This
Yeah.
guy
Have
shouldn't
you
have
ever
been
had
snapping.
guys
I mean,
reach over the bar into your fruit tray.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's like it also
I
depends.
feel
Where
that
am I
as a
at?
server sometimes. Even when I'm using a pick, I'll go over to him and be like, "Oh no, okay, you want to garnish it? All right,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
fine."
yeah.
A guy was just reaching and grabbing cherries. To
Ugh.
eat.
Just eating them.
Oh my
and I went,
God.
get your hand on my fucking fruit tray. Like it just can't, like
I used to work at a coffee shop that had yogurt, and they would have the fucking thing with the toppings. And you don't know how many people just walk in there, grab a handful of M&Ms, and just start fucking snacking on them. It's like, hey, so like I lost it. So I walked over there, I looked this motherfucker in the eye, I grabbed the bin, and I dumped it. I was like,
This is
and then I got and I got another one, and I put it out there, and I was like, hey man, don't contaminate that shit. And he's like,
I got a handful of M&Ms. I'm not listening
Yeah.
to anything else right now.
Yeah,
But
but
he
It's a
never
win
did
for
a
him.
crunch in my mouth.
yeah, should have thrown him at him.
This is
I've
your fault.
I've said fuck to too many
customers.
Too many customers.
Yeah.
Like for sure, I should have been in trouble.
Yeah.
But like it was just those moments where you're just like, I can't.
That's where, as a bartender, you get that leeway. If you're a server and you're like,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
fuck you, and fuck your kids too.
Yeah.
like, maybe not a good call. Like you're probably gonna lose your job.
We had I feel like the union helps a lot. If you're on the strip, I had a guy.
Prove it.
He threw
Prove
he threw a water bottle at a customer. Told him to go fuck himself. He still works there. Like this was years ago. Still works there. They blamed
yeah.
it on his medication. They're like, oh, his
Perfect.
medication's fucked up.
Dude, that's
And
great.
he kept his job. I was like,
Jesus.
For that, the union is awesome. But other than that,
I came in one time and there was this chick that
can't do
wanted a
it.
bottle of water. She wanted a water, and my bartender was just a dick. Like he was an asshole. I'm trying to get him on here because he's a fucking hilarious asshole, but he was an asshole. And I came in after the initial like confrontation started, but this chick tried to jump over the bar to go fight him. Like she was on top of the bar, on top of the slot machine, like trying to jump over. And this dude was like, he was a little like hopped up on some.
Mountain Dew.
So some injected Mountain Dew, but like his fucking veins would just like come out, and I was just like waiting for him because the moment she got over the bar, this dude was about to destroy this chick. He would have just fucking did like he probably would have killed her.
Kicked her chest into the fucking.
There's not a lot of
sink.
room, so he probably would have just grabbed her and like face slammed her into it. But the guy, I mean, like he was big too. He was
Yeah.
like very like he worked out constantly. He was yoked. And this chick was like thinking that she could do something. I'm like, wow, this is fucking insane. Like, you better hope that you don't get over here because he's gonna fucking wreck
That's
you.
like Gail Kim versus Robert Irvine.
Yeah. Robert Irvine said he wasn't like Robert Irvine huge, but he was just like fucking. He was ready
Dose?
to go.
yeah.
Damn.
Look at the
Me too, man.
Oh
no,
yeah,
I was right there with you.
you too. Yeah, pee in the barrel, man.
But that thing where you just like you snap, and I can't remember what he told her. He was probably just like, "You're gonna have to pay for a bottle of water," and she's like, "Fuck you, water's free," or whatever. I don't know.
Oh,
I came in the
yeah.
after where her
Whatever
friend was
dumb
pulling
shit.
her off the
Gotta
bar.
ask for
People
ice
think they're
water,
entitled
you
to.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was fine, especially when it comes to like homeless people. It's like, hey man, you want some water?
Oh,
like, I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
want
Oh,
to
yeah,
not
for
give
sure.
you water. Like you just can't hang out here.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, you can't loiter.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
we
just
have
like, dude,
customers who are gonna tip. Here's your
Right.
water, bounce.
Yeah, you got to go, man. I give you the
Yes,
water.
to go.
I like you, but you got to go.
I like you, man, but you're crazy.
Ah, fucking A, dude. This has been great. Thank you so much for
It's
coming.
been a lot of fun, yeah.
It's been
Thank
fun.
you.
Let's wrap it up before Tyler gets back. Let's
I didn't mean to do
Fuck
that.
him.
when
Yeah.
you walked away.
All right. Well,
is
this
perfect
has been
timing.
Gone Too Far from Beyond the Bar. Thank you for stopping by. We've got Kyler, not Tyler. We've got Chase. This is a
Tyler,
great
not
seat.
here.
This is a
Yeah.
great chair.
Good seat.
It's, you can maybe someday you can stop in and have a
Sit
seat
in it.
and enjoy some tasty beverages. I'm George White. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night. All right then. So yeah, that fucking guy was a
how many
fucking
times
piece
have
of
you
shit.
said that? I was gonna say that came off so smoothly. I'm George
yeah,
White,
it was
ladies and
good.
gentlemen. Have a wonderful night. I know you've been doing
wanna
stand up
be
for a
my
good little bit,
neighbor?
right?
Yeah, I've been doing stand up for 7 years. I started in Korea after the breakup with the Korean girl
Mhm.
because
How was that?
How was stand up or how was the breakup?
How was stand up in Korea?
Did stand
It's
up
gotta be
okay.
different,
become
right?
No,
because of the breakup?
No, because
You're like, I got to make the
There's
best
so
out of
many
this bad
expats
situation.
out there who are ESL teachers, and then you have the military. So there are bars, obviously Korean owned,
Uh-huh.
that are dedicated towards foreigners. So you go in there and you'll meet people from Canada, South Africa, Australia, England, everywhere, and it's just amazing.
Native English speaking countries.
Yeah, native English speaking, and it's just refreshing. And then you'll get comics, and then so they started some open mics there once a month because there are only like 5 of us.
Once a month.
Because there are only like five comics in that region, in that area, and so you can't come up with witty shit every week.
Right.
And then so I met this guy, and he was saying how he had written his set on a napkin, and he went up there and crushed it, and I was like, you? All right, let's go check it out. And then and so I wrote my set out, and I memorized it. I rehearsed it in the mirror. I was holding a comb like it was a microphone, like all that cliche shit.
I bought a fake microphone.
Oh
Well,
shit!
well, it's a real microphone, but it's
Yeah.
a cheap one. But it had the cable, so that way I could fucking fiddle with the
Fiddle-
cable.
yeah, okay, and that's the whole thing too. Is like that's like the rookie move is you take the mic out of the stand,
Uh-huh.
but you leave the stand.
Yep.
And then another one is you fiddle with the cable. Like as soon as I see those, I go rookies. Like it's just subconscious, like you know it. And so
That guy that just keeps wrapping it around.
yeah, wrapping it around, like spooling it and
Put
then
it over his
unspooling
shoulder
it,
for
and then
him to know
spooling
which
it,
way,
and then
throwing it the other
unspooling
way.
it. Yeah. And then so as soon as they take it out of the microphone and they take a step back, I'm like, rookie. Like you got to move the mic stand out of the way if you're gonna do that.
It's a weird thing. Like if you take it out and you leave the stand there, it's this psychological thing that the audience realizes there's something awkward going on, but they don't know what it is.
yeah,
Gotcha.
And it's that there's this like
It's a barrier.
It's this unnecessary barrier.
yeah, it's like a
that
podium.
If you just get it out of the way,
It opens up and
it
then they're
opens up.
relaxed.
It's more intimate. Like
You
that
did stand up,
stand
so I don't
just
know if you
changes
did
it.
that and we're calling you a piece of shit, but no.
I don't remember what I
rookie.
did.
Maybe
Don't-
just a rookie.
He said we, but I never said anything. I just came back from pissing.
Kyler just
He-
kicks it on the ground and says, "Let me get this the fuck out of the way."
So I met
I got something to say.
I met some guys from Canada, from New York, and it was great. Like stand-up comedy in Korea was amazing. We went to different cities, into different expat bars, and we were just annihilating it. It was just so much fun. And then I go back to El Paso because my time there is up, and it's just so much pettiness and just all this drama. And I was like, fuck this shit. I go to Indiana. There wasn't as much because there were like 3 or 4 comics in that city. Then I in
state.
and then I come back and then I come to Vegas. And at first it was great because there were so many mics and I was meeting so many people. But then just that pettiness and all that drama just started creeping up, and I was like, I'm good. Like I've done 30-minute sets in front of 300 people, and I've done all this stuff, and like the next step is to headline. But it's just like I see all these headliners basically living off ramen and like hitting the road and doing all this shit, and I'm like, I'm good. Like I want to have a wife and kids and a property. I want to shoot guns, and I want to can my own vegetables, and I want to like garden and do all this crazy dumb hick shit. And I was
Prepping for the apocalypse? or
Old
what?
school adult
Yes.
shit is what it is.
like, yes, I am. And so like, but it's fun being on
It's your
stage.
girl, dude.
Huh? No, I'm old. Like
no.
I'm 39. I'm 39. This is a young man's game.
I'm not blaming it on her. I'm just saying, like, if I didn't have mine,
Oh yeah.
I would be a grimy piece of shit
Oh, yeah.
person.
No,
like I would be
definitely.
the worst. I would be like, oh, like you only have a gram of coke. Like I would be that. Like
Yeah.
I would be the worst type of
Yeah.
person.
What are we gonna do with that stun?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
what's
like,
yeah,
next?
it's like cool.
Ugh.
We're awesome for
It's
an
like
hour.
I'll do
Now
this
what? Like,
while you go get more.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
I would be a horrible person, but because of her, it grounds me and makes me want that shit. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I mean, we own a house together. Like,
Yep, yep.
you know, I own a car. Like, I fucking like I do adult shit. But if
Right.
if she wasn't a part of that,
You'd be eating ramen in an apartment,
Dude,
telling dick jokes.
I would be reheating ramen. Like
from the fridge.
for
I didn't
real.
quite finish
like,
this
I
double
would've
pack.
been
I
like,
thought I was going to be able to get through two
I just-
packs. I just couldn't.
I just cook up the whole case once and then just reheat it as I go. Like
put
that's
it in a
the
big
thing.
old bowl.
I
I
would
keep it
be
on
a
the stove. I don't even refrigerate
total
it.
fucking
40 cents
degenerate.
down the drain. Fucking save that shit.
Like
Yeah.
remember back in those days? Like did
Oh,
you
we're
have
dumb.
those days?
I was say
Like,
boys are dumb.
I had those days where I was
You're
like,
absolutely right.
everyone's like,
so
"Are you
stupid.
good money wise?" And I'm like, "Dude, I got paid $25 for this show earlier tonight. Whatever you want, I got you."
Yeah.
Like I would be that
Within this
idiot all the
25
time.
Yeah.
Like I was.
PBRs on me all night,
Yeah.
son.
I,
Want
like,
the
I used
32
to,
ounce can? I can get.
I used to host an open mic, and I would get paid a percentage of the bar.
Yeah.
And then there was an open mic afterwards that would go on happy hour at midnight, and it was $1.75 Wells.
Oh,
So I
nice.
would get $40 from this open mic, and then go to the next one and be like, "Fucking rounds on me, let's go!" Like, fucking terrible. Like I
Yeah,
would be
we're
that
so
all day
stupid.
long.
Well, that's why my
But
girl
because-
pays for everything. like,
Because
all the
my heart
bills.
is like
Yeah.
love and love for pussy. I'm like, you know what? I got to get my shit together. She's
In her
nice
heart,
to
in
me.
her soul.
Yeah.
And
Her
she's
beautiful
not gonna,
eyes.
She's not gonna hear this.
Yeah, she is. She is.
I don't know. I saw her in the background of your last one. She
she's
she had the cat, and then she was
disinterested.
sitting in the.
She's the
I
chillest.
definitely saw her
fucking-
just taking.
she was
through,
smiling.
like,
She was all
booked
about
through
it.
the shot.
They're
Yeah.
listening, even if they don't. You don't
She
think they're
knows.
listening.
She
they're
knows
lis-
exactly
Don't
who
act
I
like they're
am.
not listening.
That's ammunition.
They're
bro.
listening.
Yeah.
She knows exactly who
Yeah.
I am.
Like
and
today, I sent my girl $700 for bills and rent because I don't pay that shit. I'm dumb. Like I just let everything expire. It's like,
how
here's
did
your
you
late
get her
fee.
to do that, dude?
Because
We
I'm
talked today. I was
He's
like,
a teacher.
if you
He-
could pay some of these goddamn
learned
bills,
a
that'd be
little
fucking
something.
cool.
no. I give her the money and then she takes care of it. Like,
Yeah,
she
no,
pays for
that's it's where I'm.
it. No,
opposite.
I'm
You've,
really.
you've played it perfect.
Wow.
Because I'm like, she's like, how do we owe this much? And I go, because I forgot last month. That's how we owe
Yeah.
that much for a
I
goddamn
would be the
gas
late
bill.
fee bandit.
Like I do it all the time.
I would be like,
The
why
late
is the
fee
internet
bandit.
out? Oh, because I didn't pay it because I'm dumb. Yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
on me.
So many
Yeah.
times I've paid that termination. You know, you get that red,
And she just
like you
doesn't
got 10
know.
days until your power's off. And I'm like, I'm going to pay this, not say a goddamn thing.
Yep.
Oh
You just
my
don't
God.
say nothing.
Bite the bullet.
What she don't know, don't hurt
You're
her.
like, how are we broke? I don't know what happened.
Oh my god.
I took
If you
I
s-
took last Wednesday off. That's what happened.
If you'd spend less on fucking shadow palettes,
What's a shadow
Man.
palette?
makeup.
fucked up.
Is that not?
Damn,
pretty
Abigail
sure-
go
I don't
hard.
know. Yeah. Apparently, his wife has a problem with makeup.
My wife has so much fucking
Oh,
makeup.
that's a that yeah.
Shadow
I
palette.
fucking
Yeah.
hate
Shadow palette is
makeup.
$50, bro. $50
Makeup seems
bucks.
Insane.
I didn't know what a shadow palette was, and I definitely didn't know how much it cost.
Yeah, $50. If
But
you want
now
the
you do.
classy ones.
Oh shit.
This is the educational part of our podcast.
Yeah. Anastasia and Kyler.
Hey, you want to know anything about raising a baby? Chase will tell you. Anastasia.
I'll tell you in a little
How
bit.
many
You got a
ADs
kid?
you got?
Just about. Yeah, my wife's
Alligator.
9 months pregnant. Yeah, so talk about having to get shit in line.
How,
Yeah.
where's your head at right now?
I
Just
have to
slightly
stop drinking.
tilted.
Today's the last day that I can drink drinking
Well, how does that make any sense?
because
You know how much you're gonna
she's
love
due.
alcohol once
Well,
that
no,
baby
I get
comes
that,
out?
but she's due in the next month, and I can't be anywhere kind of tipsy to drunk during when I'd be like, she's like, my water just broke. I'm like, fuck.
That's a good point.
I'm like,
That's a good point.
Mine too.
I'm
Mine
like
too.
7 beers deep. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll detox.
Fuck. Hold
it
on,
real
let me go
quick.
take a piss real fast.
Like,
I-
why
you
did
know.
you guys take a lift to the hospital? Because Daddy was hammered. That's what happened.
You know why?
'Cause Daddy's celebrating.
He was on his off season wearing his winter coat, and he had already had 15 Keystone Lights because they're $7.99 a fucking
When is
15 pack.
When is the baby due?
23rd.
23rd.
Yeah, coming up. soon, so-
Holy
yeah.
shit.
No, bro. Of January.
A couple days ago. We're still waiting. Yeah. No, 23rd of
223?
February.
That'd be great if it was the
222.
22nd, bro.
How?
Yeah, 222 or 2.
2020.
How-
Oh my god. And then she gives birth at 2:20. Oh my god, dude.
Right? Hopefully
would-
PM
You're putting
instead of
false
AM.
hope in
You would have the
That'd be great.
golden child.
We're
For
just
Eddie
hoping not for the
Murphy.
29th.
Give
'cause
me
this
the
is a leap year. Yeah, so
knife.
we're just
Please. So,
I
When it comes to-
want the knife, please.
You're just gonna leave that booger right on your shirt there, huh?
scratching everybody.
Oh my god.
hands down one of the most underrated Eddie Murphy.
Oh,
movies.
Oh, yeah,
Golden
yeah.
Child.
Amazing. So
Yeah,
good.
Golden Child.
So
My mom told me
good.
about that movie.
Oh,
She
sh-
worked at a movie theater when it came out, and she
Oh,
was like,
shit.
"Fucking Golden Child."
Yeah,
She's like,
go
I love that
see
movie.
that
So then I
shit.
watched it when I was young, and I was like, "Fucking great."
That was
And
that
Karate
era-
Kid. She always talks about fucking
That was that
Karate
era
Kid.
of movie where it was an American. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Hooking up with an Asian chick.
Our Asian obsession was fever pitch.
Dude, it was
Big
like,
Trouble, Little Tokyo, Little
like,
China,
You
Little-
talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
a
I
white
know
guy
what you're saying.
wanting a black girl and calling it fucking
Jungle Fever.
Jungle Fever.
Our
This-
Yellow Fever was.
Yellow
This was
Fever.
Yellow Jaundice. All
Yellow
the fucking
Jaundice.
way,
God
dude.
damn.
Like
Holy shit.
all the
She
fucking
got
like,
jungle
dude,
fever.
Karate
She
Kid.
got yellow
Jungle Fever,
jaundice.
Karate Kid 2, he hooked up with an Asian chick. Fucking Big Trouble in Little China,
Yeah.
Asian chick. Fucking The Golden Child, one of the hottest Asian chicks.
Oh yeah.
It was just over. That was like it. Like
It was
that
Hollywood's fetish was Asians.
and that's what they do. They
He
just make
moved to
the
Korea.
same movie over and over again
You know?
at the same time.
My
Somehow-
mom was Korean. That's how hard my fetish was.
Dude, Hollywood makes the same movie
Stems
at
from
the
somewhere.
same time so much that like
My
what
wife's
was it?
half Filipino.
Have.
What was it?
Wow.
Met
No
in Korea.
strings attached.
Nostradamus.
You remember the movie No Strings Attached?
With
With-
Ashton Kutcher
With
and
Ashton Kutcher
Cameron
and
Diaz?
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman.
Oh.
At the same time, there was another one called Friends Without Benefits.
I've
Same
seen
exact
that.
fucking movie.
Friends
With Mila
with benefits.
Kunis?
Friends
Mila
with-
Kunis and
with benefits.
Justin Timberlake. Yeah, Friends with Benefits.
Mhm.
Same fucking movie. Like they do that.
You're talking about
all-
like Ants and Bugs Life and Armageddon and
Boom
and,
and boom.
and
Like-
Deep Blue.
Boom and boom.
What was the Comet one?
Deep Blue Sea.
No,
A shark.
A
ate
shark
me.
ate a fucking shark.
With Jessica
ate
Alba?
me. No, what was the comet? It was Morgan Freeman was the president. Elijah Wood was in it, and there was a.
Oh, it was like Olympus has fallen, and then oh no, this is the different one. Wasn't Olympus has
No.
fallen? Was
No,
not,
that was,
he,
that was
not
a
the
Scottish
president?
fool.
There was two different ones that were
But they
very
just
similar
keep
to
coming
Olympus
out.
has
Oh,
fallen
I
that were
see.
like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same.
yeah.
But
With
I'm
the
pretty
president,
sure
it
Morgan
was Jamie
Freeman was the-
Foxx. Jamie Foxx was the president in the other one.
Yeah, but Olympus has fallen was Morgan Freeman, right? With
Deep Impact. That's what it was. Deep
okay.
Impact and Armageddon. With
Yes,
the,
yes. Same. That's just Disney being Disney,
yeah.
because
I-
Disney
I
did
feel like
Armageddon.
a script comes out and someone gets wind of it. They're like, "Oh, what's that movie about? We can do that movie."
Yeah,
too."
we have one
They
that's
did a lot
just
of the
like
similar
it.
stuff with their theme parks too.
It's
with
podcasts
Universal.
nowadays.
Yeah,
Yeah, when
it's like there's a drinking podcast where you feature a cocktail,
Wow.
and then and you got a co-host and a
totally
host.
different. Totally different.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah.
that-
Yeah, I mean, one has comics, the other one has bar
Service
like
industry?
bartenders. Yeah, service industry. Yeah,
What the fuck did you just say?
I don't know because I was like trying to say bar professionals.
two
Bar
fingers too
professionals.
far, you know.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
here we
two
are together.
fingers.
It's
too
like
tipsy.
Scooby Doo getting
Two fingers offended
collaborated
is what
with.
it is right
oh,
now.
shit.
Dude, we've got to wrap this up. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes deep
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, I'm.
You know what? As
Two
soon
hours and
as you
45
said
minutes
that,
of fun.
I pictured myself in front of the computer editing
Yeah.
a 2 hour and 45-minute thing
That's
and
gonna
just
be
being
me,
like,
dude. that's us on this side of the bar.
oh my
We're
god,
gonna-
fuck
I'm gonna
these
be
guys.
right there with
We're
you.
doing 4 hours.
Have fun,
tomorrow.
Mobs.
So you
Yeah.
enjoy the cocktails, enjoy editing.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's like,
That's
why is there
awesome.
only one clip a day? I don't like this. There needs to be more. It's like, bitch,
Right.
you learn how to edit.
Because
Well,
I
it
got a
sounded like
job.
you've heard that
That's
before.
why.
Huh?
Because I got a 9-month-old baby.
Yeah. No,
Okay, that's
9 month
where-
old.
That okay.
9 month pregnant wife.
This is why I gotta stop drinking. Just because I just want to know, how like the percentage wise, how much of you is like excited, and what's the percentage of you fucking terrified?
90-10. 90 excited, 10 terrified.
I
Really?
thought you were going to
Yeah.
ask to race the baby. How much?
So this is my family's first, so I know
how
I
much
have
white's
a lot
really
of
in
help.
there, man?
how much percentage are you sure it's yours? Like,
That was like a
90-10.
open-
That is.
I thought that could have gone so many different
I'm just
directions.
kidding.
Yeah.
That's 99.99.
He was
you
like,
know, I'm,
what,
I'm
what?
Lysol on that bitch. You know?
Lysol in
So you
that
said-
bitch.
Hey,
That's-
we
that's my
Lysol
new
these mics
catchphrase.
after every one, so don't worry about the coronavirus or
For real?
anything. Like, yeah, of course we do.
Oh, thank God. I was
Yeah,
like,
you
I was
know, we
getting
have
close, and I was like,
every now-
nope, back up.
How
Same
many
with their
people in
headphones
here?
too. You know,
He's a
we make sure they're
germaphobe.
nice and.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, I noticed that by the Nux when you walked in.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
because
you
my
didn't even-
hands sweat.
yeah.
I have hyperhidrosis, so like you
Oh,
can
yeah,
actually
yeah,
see
I
them
get like
glistening.
I get some wetty.
I do a little bit of that
palms
when I'm
I-
No,
nervous
like-
too.
like-
I mean,
No, like
You not like him. I'm telling you right now, not
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
him.
here.
I met
wants
Howie
somebody-
Mandel, and he refused to shake my hand too.
Yeah.
He had. Remember when you
Now
had
both
like the
of you
full?
have coronavirus. I'm sorry.
You remember
to-
when you had the?
Bitch, see ya.
Is it- We're the first reported case. You heard it here on Gone Too Far from Behind the Bar.
We're the CV team.
He had one of
GTR
the-
B2B.
Remember when they had those kind of old school phones, like
gotta
the
piss.
ones that you would have to hang up?
Hey, way to hold
Then-
out, man.
Dude,
Don't
you
break
did
the
great.
seal.
Yeah,
Right.
we he was like, I thought we were wrapping it up.
Yeah,
We've
we're
been
gonna be
wrapping it
done
up
by
for
the time
10
you get
minutes.
back. So I mean,
You're gonna fart and then leave the room.
it's a ball of move, player.
You know the old
I'm
school
be
kind of
honest, I
phone
hate
ones where
that
you
guy.
you'd have to hang it up over the top. Yeah, now it's
so
time to talk shit.
You talking shit when you left?
I'm sure he
He
did.
did,
I
yeah.
guarantee.
He actually wrapped up the podcast when you were gone.
Oh, he
Yeah,
really
yeah,
did.
yeah.
He did a
So this
full
is time.
sign off.
We stopped recording 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Fuck Tyler.
Howie Mandel had one of those fucking. I've been trying to say it forever.
You don't get to say
fist
it.
bump
We don't
you?
want to hear
Yeah,
it.
no. Well, he only fist bump. He wouldn't shake anybody's hand. But you know, like the telephones where you would hang it up on the.
Yeah.
It was like a really
they're
quick.
Kind of the bigger. They're bigger. They had the two big circles. The
Old
one to,
school.
One to hear, the one to talk to.
Yeah.
That kind of shit.
My aunt and uncle
But-
had one of those. It was my favorite phone. It had this thing.
They had
Yeah,
like
the
a little thing
rotary.
for a while. Yeah, they they had a thing where you could plug it into your phone and then talk through that. That was
Yeah.
your headset.
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, those
He-
things were ridiculous.
Yeah, he had one of those. It was hanging out of his back pocket. It was a yellow one. He came down to the pool. He had it hanging out of his back like pocket. He knocked everybody in the queue line and then answered a fucking phone call from that. He pulled it out of his back phone and like it stretched up to his fucking head. So
That's
I thought that was funny.
cocky.
I thought it was great, but I was like,
There's no
so
way
you're-
to show that you're
you're
on the
so
phone.
worried
though.
about. I
But
thought you were like you're
your
so worried about
asshole-
bacteria. Yeah, and then you're gonna have that in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Where the fuck
Yeah,
you
your
go
asshole is cleaner than
afterwards?
my hands, you dickhead.
Right, he just
That's
drilled
exactly
a
how
fart
I
into
felt.
the.
Fuck you. Put a fucking like a glove over your head and fucking stop breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at what point? Like, where are you
Dick.
gonna be scared? I mean, like, we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
if it's
Eventually. Oh man.
I feel like there's still so much cocktail in front of
there's
me.
really not that much.
I know.
You're
I'm-
almost
I'm
done.
getting
Yeah.
there,
You're
I'm
pretty
getting
much
there.
done.
We're done.
We're right there.
Yeah.
We're not. We
Alright.
finished actually. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
ladies and
yeah,
gentlemen,
yeah.
thank you for
Ladies
stopping
and
by.
gentlemen, there we are.
Gone too far from behind the bar. My name is George White. As always, this is my co-host Tyler Jolly.
Hey.
Thank you for stopping by. We've got Chase and Kyler, not Tyler.
That's right.
And as always, we like to say, stay loose, fresh,
Fresh
juice,
juice.
caboose.
Caboose.
All right,
Nice.
thanks guys. All right.
For
Hey,
me.
thanks. Go check us out on social
I
media.
figured that was a great time to end it.
Gone too far from
Let's just
behind the
go
bar.
ahead
Hey, roll the ending music, would you?
Yeah, don't.
Good.
You guys will hear it.
Yeah, we'll play it.
eventually.
Goodbye.
No, we don't have to put it in there. Please.
I thought we were done.
Check us out on Gone Too Far Behind the Bar, Gone Too Far BTB on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Once again,
he
just
gets
say
around to it.
George
Yeah.
White.
Two Fingers Neat, number 2. Two Fingers Neat Show at
Yes.
Instagram, Facebook. You can also check out Mervin Pervin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mervin
Yeah.
Pervin.
Yeah.
Go ahead and let
Instagram,
Tyler throw those out
Watermelon
there. Tyler,
kimchi.
what else you got going on? I
Yeah,
know you have
son
2
of
fingers
a-
neat. The number
son of a
2,
bitch.
check out the number 2 fingers neat.
No, don't put the number like hashtag like
No.
pound.
No,
Just put
Right.
2.
oh, so it's
Fingers
no, it's
Neat
no
Show.
longer pound or
The
the,
numeric.
number. Nobody
Yeah.
knows that anymore. It's only hashtag.
Yeah.
Literally the number 2 fingers neat. Because I
Don't
try to
don't
look at,
type LITER.
I try to type in
ALLY. Don't
T.
type literally the 2.
I tried to do TWO and it didn't pop up until
Yeah.
5 or 6 down.
There
so
you go.
do the number
Yeah.
2
Number 2.
Fingers Neat.
show.
on Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, and
That's what we're on.
I'm Watermelon Kimchi. We've got Mervin
Really?
Pervin.
But yeah,
That's
it's
fucking
not
dope.
I saw
her.
that.
I just
I did
friended
think
you.
that was
Yeah,
good.
I just
Yeah.
followed you.
I saw that when you're on there. Is there actually a watermelon kimchi?
For Instagram.
Like
No,
to eat.
To eat.
Yes. Yeah.
There
you,
is?
Yeah. So you
What?
you cut the skin and then obviously the meat,
Uh-huh.
and then you're left with the rind.
Right.
You ferment that, and then
Ferment the
there-
rind?
Yeah, ferment the rind. It's just like a radish or whatever else.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So
Really?
you just ferment that. I wanted to make some because watermelon kimchi, but I just love the fact that it's black and Korean watermelon kimchi.
Oh, I didn't even put that together. That is awesome.
How did you not put that together?
Well, just because
He's not racist.
Yeah.
Only me?
Yeah.
So I don't know the
Well, I
difference
love
between
kimchi.
Lawrence
I like
Fishburne.
really spicy kimchi, but I really like watermelon barbecue. If you've ever had watermelon barbecue, it
No.
is so fucking good. Go ahead and go down just
That
the
is
street from
hella
here.
racist.
Johnny,
Okay.
if you go down to Johnny Mac's, have some watermelon barbecue ribs, some watermelon barbecue.
Just don't drop the hard
wings.
R.
Yeah, just watermelon barbecue.
Watermelon.
Watermelon.
Barbecue.
So
Watermelon.
good. And Tyler on this side, what do you got? I know you got more than Two Fingers Neat going on. What other podcasts do you
Yeah,
have?
what was the Odd Man Out?
So yeah, I do a sports podcast with Greg Price and Garrett Hall, called Odd Man Out, where we talk sports, and I am the person who doesn't know it, so I am the odd man out. That's gonna be
cocky bastard. I am the odd man.
He's
out.
I'm not.
I'm the guy who doesn't know stuff, and I'm super cocky. Yeah, that's me.
It's
What
me.
the fuck? And then I do another one called Childhood Hero with a professional skateboarder, Justin Bishop, called Childhood. It's called Childhood Hero. It's amazing. We kind of dive into who you are as like we talk to professional skateboarders, musicians, comics, everything, and try to dive into who they are and who their like influences growing up and all of that. We try to get real heartfelt.
Who shaped them? How they shaped
How
them,
they
yeah.
became who they are, and yeah, that one's it's my favorite right now. It's my favorite show that I do right now.
So he locked eyes with you. You need
See
to
how I
step
did
up your
that?
game.
See how I
George.
did that? Childhood Hero is my favorite show.
I thought we already canceled Two Fingers Neat. Oh shit.
You guys have been.
It's a lot of fun. You can catch me. All my stuff is on TylerJolly.comedy.com or TylerJolly_Jolly on. What did I just do? See, you guys fucked me up.
Tyler
Hey, too much
_Jolly?
alcohol.
Too much
That's how we
alcohol.
did.
Too far.
We've
Tyler-
gone too far.
Gone-
Oh,
In front of the bar.
From in front of
Nailed
the
it.
bar.
Nailed it.
Jeez, you guys are
Tyler-
so meta.
_Jolly on Instagram.
Well,
Tyler Jolly
clearly
Comedy on
these
Facebook.
gentlemen are trying to wrap things up. So
Yes.
I just want to tell a quick story about.
Oh, please do
No,
it.
I'm just kidding.
You
You son
Dude,
of a
we
bitch.
have no.
So I
we
was
have no
born
time
in
limits. You can do it.
1984.
Well, here, no, 81. But here's the thing:
Damn, he called you out.
you should also let your guests know that there's no one upstairs. I was like trying to be respectful. Like I thought your wife was upstairs, like knitting and shit. I was like,
Knitting.
We did it on purpose because his wife knits a lot.
Oh, for real?
If you've seen her
Soft
Disney
art.
room, they
Soft
do.
she's a knitter.
No, not at all, man. You guys have been an absolute blast. Thank you so much. Thank you for your
Absolutely,
time. Thank
man.
you for your
Thank you for
stories.
having
We
me.
really
Not a
appreciate it.
problem.
Check out.
We're gonna put
Two
everything in the
Fingers
link. So
Neat.
send me the link, so we'll make sure we get them in the
Yeah,
in all of our stuff.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And give us a little bit of love. You
Of
know,
course.
where. We've already mentioned
Absolutely.
it. You know,
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll
We'll
talk
do
about
it.
having you guys on in February, and then I'll release that episode in May whenever I get around to
That'd be
it.
the-
Yeah,
yeah.
whatever.
I think
I don't blame you, bro. It takes forever.
it does take a little bit.
Need a fucking intern.
Oh man, right? Yeah, to get that
One of those little dumbass
Little
eighth
Filipino
graders.
boys. Oh no, okay, there we go.
right. He listens to Tiger Belly.
Jesus Christ.
All right, this has been Chase.
Kyler.
Tyler.
Two Fingers Neat.
George. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful time of day that you're listening to.
Yeah, whatever. Goodbye.
I love you.
Go.